Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 362 for the week of July 24th, 2018. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this post-Comic-Con San Diego, Comic-Con International San Diego, San Diego week.
2018.
2018?
Brocksager.
Did I say 2018?
You didn't even say 2018.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what year it is. Who's next?
Slightly sick Lane.
Oh, Lane. That raspy voice. I love it.
The Bryce who laughs.
Whoa.
Slightly addicted to Marvel Puzzle Quest. Scott.
There has to be... Charlie's not here. There has to be one of you here.
And Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin. No Charlie, no Toby. I was hoping to hear their con experience, but they're both busy working, apparently. Whatever that's all about. However, I've been told that they recorded Kevin, Toby, Charlie, and Lane. Right? You were there too, right? You guys did record actual, basically a whole bonus episode podcast from the con, talking about the different, like an hour by hour breakdown of what you guys did for the whole convention, or just the first few days?
No, the whole convention.
All right.
In the hotel room on the last night of the con.
All right, so a 17-hour Comic-Con podcast was recorded down there, and once I get the audio from that, we'll post that.
A stretch, but
we'll post that on our Patreon
Toby,
feed.
It's probably not much of a stretch.
And then after about a week or so, we'll throw it up on our YouTube page at YouTube.com/Comics Conspiracy if you want to hear that.
If we'd recorded a video, you could have seen four fried guys sitting in a room full of crap.
Oh, you guys should have done it like 70s style where the camera just turns around every time you talk.
The classic
Spinning in
YouTube
circles.
with no video.
Right. Oh, I have 361 episodes plus a couple interviews up on our YouTube channel right now at youtube.com/Comics Conspiracy.
Did you make a playlist for the interviews?
No, I made a playlist for. I could do that too, but I made a playlist for all the episodes in chronological order.
Yeah, we know that, but you didn't do it like, oh, here's our interviews.
I didn't know that.
Should do the interviews one.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
I have a couple other. Actually, I have like two videos up there. I did find the old Comics Conspiracy store ads from the 90s.
Those are fucking
amazing
hilarious.
with Donald, right? With Donald.
No.
Yeah, I have them. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yeah,
You're going to post our
we'll
Harley
post those
Quinn
up.
one up?
The Harley one's up. Yep. Our good friend Trevor, who took a bunch of video from the Geoff Johns signing we had, God, at this point, well over a decade ago. That's going up on the YouTube page as well, and some other.
Was that really over 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was DC Universe number 0. That was 2007.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
It was a long ass time ago.
I was supposed to go to that dinner with you guys, but I had to go to work.
Yeah, it was a long ass time ago. So that's going to be on YouTube as well. So yeah, go check out that YouTube page and subscribe, because the more subscribers we have, we can we'll start doing some more content on there. It's pretty good. So we are going to talk about all the news from Comic-Con, but I guess do want to hear a little bit. Lane, Kevin, how's Comic-Con?
Lane, you want to start?
I know, Lane, you're a little...
Because Lane and I had kind of different experiences in the con, so...
And it doesn't have to be, like an hour-by-hour play-by-play like the other
that.
one. Just
Listeners will get that.
We have that list already.
Yeah.
Just do the highlights.
Well, going into it, since they changed over to the lottery system, it was pretty obvious what we did and didn't already have planned. So it was easier to plan around something.
For people that don't know...
Can you explain
okay.
what...
So for any booth with major exclusives or autographs, there was an online lottery where you had to sign up pre-con, and you were told pre-con whether you were in or not. So, and most likely you were out. There's just so many people, not enough space.
Do you know, did they do a system where if you only signed up for a couple things, you were more likely to get that?
Nope.
Or so it was just...
Because I signed up for 3 and I got 0.
So everyone signed up for everything. There's no reason.
Yep.
Can you trade?
No, because, well, you shouldn't, because it's tied to your badge. But
No, but I mean, like,
I know some people, you could transfer it into a ticket and then trade the ticket.
Right.
But not all of them had that.
But could you just be like, hey, I'm going to go on Reddit and be like, hey, I've got this signing, you've got that toy thing. Can we trade like one for one?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'm
there's
sure
ways
people
to do
did
it,
that.
but you just have to actually get in touch with each other.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people sitting outside places. Hey, did you get this? And
Yeah. To me, I actually think that's fine because all the lines, all the people
I
camping
hated the
out
lines
is
anyway.
awful.
It was perfect, yeah. No more 5,000 people on the back wharf standing around.
Right.
Blocking the entrances. So
Right.
Much, much better.
So that didn't apply to Hall H and all that stuff, though, did it?
There was a different process for Hall H.
Okay.
You had to get wristbands and then stand in line, and anyone who had a wristband could line up early to hold spots up to 5 people.
Okay.
So, yeah, that kind of gets into the funny adventure of our story where the first night I have the hotel right across the con. You can actually see the con from our window.
It was very luxurious.
And it's funny, I get back to the hotel after...
So what kind of sway did you have to pick up a hotel that was right across
just got
the
lucky
street?
in the lottery. It's also a lottery.
The hotels are a lottery?
Yes, it's a lottery.
Yeah, Toby and Charlie did not get a hotel room, period.
Yeah. But I got really, really lucky. And
So they all split lands.
Boy. So...
Yeah,
like,
watch the mic.
So, like, on Expedia or whatever? Like,
no, it's through Comic-Con. They have special rates through Comic-Con itself.
Okay.
So it's a
What,
website.
if you didn't go through Comic-Con...
You can still get a hotel, but it'd probably be double the price.
And a mile away.
Wow.
No, there's some
Miles
downtown,
away.
but it's like $800 a night.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to hopefully go next year and join you in the lottery. Keep going.
Yeah. We'll find a way.
I was gonna say, shit, isn't the hotel lottery like next week or something at this point? Like they do it so far in advance now.
No, they do it late.
The hotel?
Yeah. This
Oh,
year,
was it tickets that are that far in advance?
Yeah,
then
tickets are, but hotel wasn't until
When's tickets?
March last year.
Oh,
this year.
jeez. Yeah, when's tickets? Like September or October or something stupid? Like it's
I
really
think the people who have purchased 4-day tickets this year
yeah.
can buy tickets. It'll probably be October, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's way far.
But it's a
in
small
advance.
window, and it's
Right.
only so many of them. And then I
Right.
think pros will probably go up around November, December.
Yeah. See, that's the problem as a retailer.
Pros? Retailer ones?
The retailer ones that I get, we get them like in, I don't know, late June. So we could have everything planned. I could have the flight, I could have the hotel, and then just 1 year they're like, no
ticket.
sorry, no tickets. They could, right? They haven't yet, but they could.
Yeah. But essentially, so with the lottery, I already knew I wasn't going to get a lot of, the big name ticket items that I was going for. So I just focused on smaller things. Like I wanted to meet Tom King, Scott Snyder, and Joel Jones were the 3
God.
that I focused on.
Did you meet them?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Multiple times.
What?
So, yeah, I found out where they were going to be. Went there early each time.
Slept under their bed at night.
Hey, you just have to get in with Dave, okay? If you get in with Dave, you're good.
Tom King, Lane, can you breathe a little quieter under my bed?
Well, the funny part about that is, the first night, Toby and Charlie were so desperate to get into Doctor Who,
Yeah.
which was the first day.
Right.
So they got the wristband. They screwed up the wristband stuff the first night, and then they stayed in line to get their spot.
All night?
So I stayed in the hotel by myself on the first night.
Oh,
It
good
was
for
really
you.
weird.
Sounds
Listeners will get a full breakdown of that adventure
Yes.
on the bonus.
Yeah.
Like more detail than you probably want.
Yeah, on their side is very interesting. But yeah, I mostly just focused on getting the Funko Pops that I could get, and then just meeting the 3 people. Probably the biggest thing is on Saturday, I was trying to help another friend of ours. He wanted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. signing, but what Marvel did this year is you get into their booth, there's a slot machine button, and you hit it, you either get a signing or nothing. You get a picture of Thanos, and sorry, you lose. And instead, I actually ended up getting a signing to The Gifted.
Oh, cool.
So I got to go back later and meet most of the cast of The Gifted and get
Nice.
a signed poster.
Nice. Awesome.
So got to talk to each of them. They're really, really nice.
Now, as the number 1 X-Men fan on the podcast,
No.
I'm a big fan of The Gifted.
No.
So I just pray that Disney merger goes through before the second season starts, or I'm going to have to binge that once it's on Disney's.
Come on, you got to throw Bryce some consolation title as the number 1 something.
Yeah.
Give him something.
If anything, right now, I'm the number 1 loser, which feels bad, man.
He's the number 1 Gwenpool fan.
Number 1
Oh. You cut too deep, Lane.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great time. if anything from that thing, I did talk to Matt Nixon. He did say, he's hoping for the merger to go well.
Yeah.
Because that way he can go back to Burn Notice. Because I was asking him about
Oh, really? Yeah, nice.
So he might be able to go back to the Burn Notice universe. If
Would they let him? Like,
well, it's his, so, I mean, I think...
Would Disney?
Well, I mean, USA, right? So
yeah.
I think he's hoping that they'll be...
Is Disney involved with the US?
I don't know. I'm not actually sure.
Eh?
Wait, so if the merger goes through, what happens to Gifted? Does it, like, become absorbed, or is it like the Lucasfilm acquisition where they just disavow any knowledge of any Star Wars stuff that happened prior to the
I think
merger?
it just continues as is.
But it's folded in, or...
No, well, I mean, that's up to Matt Nix and the showrunners. I mean, they'll just continue on the path they have
Wait,
set.
is it up to the showrunners, or is it up to Disney and Marvel?
I think it's up to the showrunners more.
Yeah,
Because,
but,
I mean,
but if the merger goes through, it gives the showrunners more opportunity
Yeah.
to do more things.
they can ask to do more
Yeah.
and fold it in. It's up to them whether they want to fold it in, I would think. Because if they don't want to write it, they don't have to.
Okay, except that they'll say, here's, how do you like this paycheck? And then there will be a picture of apples, and then they'll slam it onto a window, and...
They could. At that
Yeah,
point,
Scott appreciates it. All
at
right.
that point, the showrunners may leave, though.
Yeah. Take the money and run.
So
Boy,
anything
take the
else?
money and run.
Highlight?
I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I mean, the other big highlight, besides, getting to talk, I mean, this is the first time, it's funny, this is the first time we talked to Kevin the most.
Yeah,
And-
right. And we
and
got
Craig.
dropped in the deep end.
Yeah.
Like I went from knowing Lane only here in the store to spending like 4 days and a 9-hour car ride. with him.
So you guys are BFFs now.
So we went from like this to 11.
Yeah.
In the bonus episode, you'll hear about the spooning adventure. I never thought I'd be spooning
Just
Lane.
never leaves the hotel room.
Who's the big spoon? I don't know.
And we spent a lot of time with Craig a lot. We met up with him quite a
Yeah.
bit. And we had the Comics Conspiracy unofficial meetup.
Yes, Indicator.
Yes. And that went off really, really well. I mean,
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know a few people showed up for that, huh?
Yeah, we had about 3 other people.
And Joss Whedon.
And he was at the
He
bar.
was in the bar with us that night.
Yeah, there were a couple celebrity sightings throughout the weekend.
I love Craig's story of getting handed a beer by Jason Momoa when he walked out. He's just like, take this, and he's like, all right,
Yeah.
I guess, thank you. That's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
Overall.
Nice. Kevin, any highlights?
Yeah, it was like being at the
Yeah, you're not there for like TV celebrity movie stuff.
No.
Twin Peaks aside.
Yeah, it was like being at the biggest, craziest geek summer camp.
Yeah.
Where you're just doing like fun things all day and then meeting up with your friends every night afterwards. Because I would basically hang out in their hotel room every night before going home.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah, I mean, my highlights are more like, not so much like getting into signings or buying stuff, but it's more just like crazy or like weird or interesting personal things. So I'll just go off the top of my head. Now, not all of these do I want to go into, but just like Lane already knows this one, running halfway across the convention center with Dan Didio because he told me I could have his full attention as long as I kept up his pace. And he was late for a panel literally at the furthest opposite end of this gigantic, for those who haven't been, this convention center is like...
think like Vegas. Think like Vegas Strip,
Yeah.
and that's how
Yeah,
big.
it's huge.
What?
You had to get to the Venetian.
Like, if you're in like one hotel and you're like, oh, I just have to go to the other hotel. You're like, that's like a 35-minute walk. Like that's
Yeah.
the
Kevin, what
convention.
kind of shape is Dan Didio in?
Well, Dan Didio is in pretty good shape when he's getting an angry phone call that he has to report somewhere, and he's literally the furthest point you could be other than being outside the convention
That
center.
dude, and I mean, I've met him a number of times. I've talked with him. I've spent a little bit of time with him at like the retailer meetings and stuff. That dude is always at 11.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was a hustle. You must.
That
have
was
been,
a hustle.
Yeah.
He even said before we started, "Good luck."
That is awesome.
Getting to reconnect with Karen Berger, who I used to kind of know back in the day, and it's been a long time. I think I mentioned like Dave Gibbons, talking to Dave Gibbons, Tom King,
Artist of Watchmen.
artist of Watchmen, and a great Green Lantern run from the 80s. Tom King, this was a weird one. I missed the Tom King signing, but I talked my way into this booth with Tom King, his bodyguard, and me, just
What?
the three of us. And so I had that History of the DC Universe book.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I had brought that, and so Tom is trying to figure out where to sign, and so he's asking me.
Tom.
He's asking me.
Your buddy Tom.
Okay. Excuse me.
I feel like Kevin's kind of a big deal.
Excuse me. Okay, Bryce. Tom King, writer of Batman, was asking me where he should sign in this book.
Oh, is that who you're talking about?
And he's
Buddy.
he's trying to figure out. So he's having me narrate who all these names are in this book, the old timers, till he finds the place he wants to sign. And then he goes, "Oh, Murphy! I love Murphy Anderson. I'm going here." Squeezes his name in. Meeting Paul Levitz and getting him to sign that. Now,
cool,
Levitz
cool.
is kind of a forgotten name these days.
Well, I mean, he was still the president of DC up and it was president. Was that what was his title?
Yeah,
He was president. Publisher.
Yeah, publisher.
Sorry,
Yeah.
up until only a handful of years ago. No, it wasn't that long ago. Less than a decade.
But Levitz was telling me this story about the first. Here's how he said it. The first time I got to eat dinner at Stan's house, I told Joni, I'm not going to fanboy too much, but I'm bringing my bound set of the first run of Avengers with me, and Stan's going to need to sign this at some point tonight. He's just going on with this story.
Nice.
Because there's nobody else around, because he's kind of a big name,
Yeah, well,
so it's just the two of us.
Because I actually got something signed by Paul when
Paul.
Because I talk to him and meet him.
You mean Paul Levitz, former
Paul
publisher
Levitz,
of DC?
guy that writes Legion.
Yeah, I was gonna say Legion writer.
Yeah, long-time Legion writer.
The only time I ever got to go to WonderCon when it was up here in San Francisco, Paul was there and nobody was in line for him. And so I just walked up and talked to him for a minute.
face. Okay, I was just gonna text Bryce, but it's just even funnier when I just say it out loud. The face Bryce just shot me.
When Brock drops Paul.
Yeah, and then Charlie and I went omnibus shopping, as anybody on the Facebook group probably saw the picture that I posted of that. And then
I was expecting like a picture as high as like your waist, not like 4 dinky omnibuses.
well, sorry, I told Charlie it was his 12 inches of rock hard pleasure.
Whoa, good lord!
The last time I heard that was the last time I went out with him.
What?
And then finally, I'll just close with going to play DC's quote unquote too tough trivia, which was fans paired up with DC pros to answer questions from the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Rebirth era.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yes.
You played it?
I did play.
Oh,
Who?
I didn't hear it.
I got paired with Mark Andraco.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I got to pick. You get to pick your partner.
Yeah.
So you pick the category of the question you want, then you pick the person you want to be paired with.
Nice.
So Ryan, I'm going to hit you with.
This is awesome.
I'm
sorry. Who's
As the Week 10 Krypton
Oh, this was
finalist, but I didn't win.
Hold on.
I think I'm ready for this.
I'm going to hit Ryan with 3 questions that stumped other players.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Name the octopus sidekick of the Silver Age Aquaman.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Scott
his
knows
name
this.
is not Jesus Christ.
This is multiple choice or is
wrong.
this just?
Some were multiple choice. This is not.
What's
It's
his,
not Squidward.
what was his name?
This one I didn't know, but I didn't get this question.
I actually don't know this one.
What?
Nope. I don't know this one.
I don't. I
believe-
I mean, I know the character. I just don't remember
I
his name.
think the name is like Torpo.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's right. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
We're going to hit Higgins with 2 more before we get this too geeky. Name the founding 7 members. The founding 7 members of the Justice Society.
Society.
Yep.
Well, I mean, did you count Superman, Batman, and Wonder
No.
Woman? Okay. Right. So.
You count the ones on All Star 3.
Right.
cover.
So.
Scott.
Scott,
let
you
Ryan go.
jumping in? You jumping in?
I believe it's Wonder Woman was in the issue.
She's there, but I don't think she's on. I don't think she's on.
not
She's
the
on the team.
It's
No.
all guys.
So it's Starman,
Dr. Midnight.
Dr. Midnight, Green Lantern, Flash. It's not Hawk. No, it's not Hawkman, not Aquaman, not Green Arrow.
No. More. It's
Yeah,
Bobcat.
is it Wildcat?
no Wildcat. It's a Golden Age Wildcat.
The look on Kevin's face.
Oh, it's not
Kevin, no spoilers.
Oh,
Kevin,
yeah,
no
Adam.
hints.
Adam, and one more.
Is that 5? How many is that?
I think that's 6. And I don't know what that Kevin just gave me a signal.
I didn't hear that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
was
Yep.
it.
Green Lantern. Is there one more?
There are 7. I wasn't keeping count.
Oh.
I'm saying though. I thought
was
you had your fingers up. I thought
No. I was like this right.
That was 6.
Hawkman.
Yeah. Oh, you said Hawkman.
No, you guys missed 2.
What did we
I said
miss?
which are
Hawkman.
the Spectre and Dr. Fate.
Oh, Spectre.
Oh.
I didn't realize Spectre.
Spectre and Fate were rich.
I knew Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about Spectre.
Okay.
I don't know the history, but I would never
Anyway,
expect it to be
so
original.
the way the game's played is there's questions, and then if you get a question wrong, you or the partner gets a question wrong, you get a consolation prize and you're knocked out.
Yeah.
So the question I didn't get this one, and I didn't know this one. And if anybody on this podcast knows this one, I'm going to be amazed.
Oh, the Aquaman one, I think his name is Topo, not
Yes,
Corpo.
yes.
It's Topo.
This is the hardest question of that whole panel. Name, say it out, Johnny Quick's speed formula from the
Oh,
Golden
gee,
Age.
no. Yeah,
It's like, it's like 11 numbers and letters
Yeah,
and something
yeah,
squared, something
Right.
equals, blah, blah.
I know it, but I don't
Yeah,
know it off
yeah,
the top
right,
of my
yeah.
head. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was fun. It was that was I think a Sunday panel. It was just a random collection of DC talent on
That's cool.
on the thing, and
You multiple choice those, I get them. Off the top of my head,
some
that's just
some
really
were
hard.
multiple choice.
I could probably do it multiple choice, but
Yeah, so those kind of things were my con highlights, and then hanging out with these guys at night. And I discovered two things at this con that are kind of mind blowers.
Oh, dear.
okay.
Number one, Craig Anderson. Now, this happened late into a night where my memory is not the best, but Lane might
How much
confirm
booze
this.
Was this when Toby called me?
Yes.
It was before that, but it was that night.
Oh God,
Lane, you might confirm this because Lane was sitting near us in the bar. I believe Craig Anderson and I might have started reading Justice League of America within one issue of each other.
Oh, wow.
Like Craig read the second part of a two-parter that I read part one of. Number two, we are pretty certain that at some point I was behind the counter selling Charlie comic books when Charlie was a comic store customer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
13-year-old Charlie, and
Yeah.
I would have been in high school
Where was this?
at Comics and Comics, which is no longer
Wait,
exists.
is the one on Cowper?
Yeah, no, after Cowper, California
On the corner
Avenue.
of California.
Yep.
And
13-year-old Charlie used to come in there shopping, and that was my job in high school.
I may have purchased from you as well.
Oh, well,
Kevin.
look at this. Small world.
Yeah, we've talked about that
awesome.
before on here.
I think we
feel
talked about it
have.
the first time I was ever on.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was
when you
part of
worked at
his
the
secret
store. Yeah.
origin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's super funny.
anyway, so my con highlights were kind of like personal things rather than
Yeah.
I got into this panel or I got this item.
You didn't want
things
to
like
tell
that.
them the result of the trivia contest?
Oh yeah. So as you win, you get a prize out of this big box of DC merchandise. So the consolation prize, as in you get out of here, are Hot Wheels.
Okay.
Then there's a box of big prizes. So after my victory lap, the assist,
How many did you get?
I didn't miss one, but I
Okay.
never chose Rebirth.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I don't read enough Rebirth to be able to answer. Like they had questions I would have never known
Sure,
from
sure.
Rebirth. It's like in Green Lantern number 11 in the new series.
Yeah,
who does
yeah.
he blah blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's an assistant there who's reaching in and picking out random prizes, and she reaches in and pulls out my grand prize for this trivia game is we'll take off the explicit tag here is a freaking Batman Brave and the Bold toy for ages 4 to 8. It looks like a Duplo figure.
Hell yeah.
It is a Zeus with a winged lion. Which I don't even know why. Is Zeus on Brave and the Bold?
I
I assume
must
it's
have
connected to
been.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But it's a Zeus figure with a winged lion. That is what I get for my trivia knowledge. So there was a little girl in the panel with her parents, like
Did you
probably
just grab it and huck it?
no.
Crowd?
There was like a 5-year-old girl there who was just sitting with her parents, so I just handed it to her on the way out.
That's so
What
funny.
a gentleman.
Well, I mean,
What a handsome gentleman.
oh, thank you, sir. That means a lot.
I would have hucked it.
Did Mark and Draco get some
Less
questions right
handsome,
too?
less
or-
gentleman.
Who?
Mark and Draco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so because you would get the question, and then I mean, I know this may not be interesting to everybody listening, but like, let's say I was paired with Ryan, and Brock asks the question. You have to answer it. Ryan, you answer it.
Okay.
And then I have to say, yes, he is right, or
Oh.
no, he is wrong, and the right answer is.
Oh, okay,
I can't
okay.
just say yes or no.
Oh,
If it's no,
okay.
I have to say
Say the
why.
answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Andreyko and I got our first question was like from the Silver. Now this isn't a hard question anymore because of the Metal miniseries, but our first question was name the metal that allows the Hawks to fly in the Silver Age.
Nth metal.
Yeah. Now once that would have been hard.
I mean, I knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if
at
you're
what-
anything
at
of a
what
Hawkman
point?
fan, you know that.
20 years ago?
I just feel like that should be something that everybody knows.
I mean, if you know it, if you've read DC Comics, I feel like that's something you know.
Yes.
That, like you can have
Some noobs might not.
When I was doing that
right.
Krypton, when I was doing that Krypton, like that trivia thing online,
Yeah.
the first handful of questions
was-
are super easy,
were
stupid
glorious.
easy, and then after a while, you're like, okay, you're starting to ask like
I really wish we would have
real-
videotaped you every single
Yeah.
time that was on.
real deep questions that are
Yeah,
like
there
these
were some
characters.
hard questions, and then there were some like like what major event does Bruce Wayne do in Batman number 24
Batman 24
of the Rebirth?
Oh, that's the proposal issue.
Yeah, but the person missed it.
Oh, okay.
The person who got that question missed that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, name the acronym Shazam. What are them in order? Each thing stands for. What is the word that
Is it
Johnny?
Solomon, Hercules?
Oh, he's going to do it.
Is it Solomon, Hercules? It's not Ares, is it?
Nope.
What is A?
Artemis.
Is it Atlas?
Yep.
Yeah. Zeus.
Yep.
I don't remember what the other. I'm bad with the A's.
You
And
got
then
it.
Mercury.
Yeah, you got the A the first time, but you just got out of order.
Oh. Atlas.
No, you got Atlas.
Oh,
right.
Atlas was the first one,
Yeah.
and then
Well, I said Artemis.
what did I say? The first. I don't remember what it's called.
Achilles is the second
Achilles
one.
is the second one, and then
Yeah, but then there's things
Mercury,
like,
right?
what's the word that Johnny Thunder says to summon the Thunderbolt? Things like that.
It's what is it? I
Say
you. Yeah,
but
or say
spelled-
you.
It's
Say
spelled
you.
CEI.
S-E- yeah. It's
Anyway,
weird.
enough about that. This is not the comics conspiracy trivia.
It's not. This
was-
is not a bad conversation.
Did they call this whole panel the Kumani challenge?
It was called DC Too Tough Trivia.
Mondi challenge?
Yeah. Too Tough Trivia was the panel.
Nice.
What it was called.
Nice.
That was my last day of the con, and then Charlie and I went on omnibus hunting.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the sum up. It was a blast. It was one of those things where, Lane, I don't know if this happened to you, around Friday, Charlie and I at one point look at each other Friday afternoon. We're like, what day is this exactly? Is this Saturday now? No,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Where you start to kind of get a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
But when it's over, you just go, that was just fun from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
We have a crap and a half load of things. I have a lot of news stories from Comic-Con, and you guys feel free to jump in if you've been to any of these panels or have anything to add to
it
these.
was an info dump all weekend.
Yeah, I'm just going to hit some real quick stuff up. I think there's a couple bigger stories which we'll leave to the very end, and then a lot of questions. So let's power through some of these. Actually, I might just go through this in order. It's fine. As far even as like Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, there's so much news coming out of Comic-Con. On a personal note, wasn't a ton, which is typical for Comic-Con, not a ton of comic news as far as like new titles, new stories, new creators. There's a little bit. Usually it's for Marvel and DC a lot of here's what's coming up that we've already have
that
planned.
we've already been kind of teasing or rumored.
Yeah, but there was a few big announcements. Green Lantern is getting relaunched by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. Obviously, that was one of the very first things announced before the con even opened. Obviously, rumored for a while, but big deal. Obviously, big Grant Morrison fan here, so I have a feeling this will be a big series for DC. I know they did say Hal Jordan's ending soon, and Green Lanterns is becoming Green Lantern Corps. So. I can't wait to see more about that. They also did confirm Kelly Sue DeConnick on Aquaman, although I guess we found out today that won't be coming out till sometime next summer. It's Dan Abnett's got still another whole arc or two planned for that. So cool. I think this would be quite some time before his run starts. DC Universe pre-orders went up. Now DC Universe is DC's streaming service and app. It has select comic books to view on there. I assume for most people, the reason they get this is for their TV shows. And they announced that it's $7.99 a month or $74.99 for a year. If you prepaid for it up front before, during, I don't know if this is continuing now, but at least during the con.
I think they extended it.
Well, at least during the con, if you prepaid for it, you got an additional 3 months for free. Bring it down to $75 for 15 months, or $5 roughly a month. If you pre-ordered it during the convention, you're entered into a chance to win 2 tickets to the Aquaman premiere, that's fucking cool. So, of course, I was going to do this. Right?
You were going to do it regardless of the extra stuff.
No, I didn't do it right away. I actually did it later in the day. Right? I mean, I didn't do it minute one. I could have, and I probably should have, only because when I got my order number in, I'm account number 0000000000000001152. which makes me assume this isn't random. These are in order, which means I could have had account number 1 because or whatever. I would have been within I was online when it went up, but I was like,
you realize you got like new 52 numbers, right?
I got 1152, so that works for me. But many hours into the pre-order being up, they only had 1,100 people that had pre-ordered.
I think, and my hesitation with the pre-order is, if I paid now and the clock starts ticking on those 15 months, what is there I can watch tomorrow?
Well, it doesn't even launch till September. So I think it starts.
But I mean, okay, so forget the word tomorrow. What is there that I could watch on day 1?
As far as I know, just Titans.
That's the only thing that's going to be on there.
So they have Titans. There's going to be the Doom Patrol spin-off series from Titans, which they've already announced. It's already going to happen. They're getting introduced in Titans. There was another, which again we'll talk about this more in a second, but there was another show announced at Comic-Con, and that's Geoff Johns' Stargirl. So that is going to be a third live-action series.
That was my first panel on my first day. Was that Geoff Johns panel?
Yeah,
with the Stargirl announcement.
Yep. A lot of good news from there.
But are all the Titans going to be up at once, or
as I understand it, yes.
It's like the Netflix model.
They're doing the binge model. As far as I know, yes. And then there is the Swamp Thing series. Mm-hmm. Apparently, this is where the Metropolis show is going to be. It's going to be a Superman version of Gotham. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that in a long time. And then
it's called Smallville.
Well, no, it's Lois and Perry is what the focus is supposed to be. But again, I haven't heard anything about that show in a long time, so I have no idea what the current status is. But word is that's where it's going to air. And then the Harley Quinn animated series in Young Justice Season 3. Now, as far as I know, Titans and Doom Patrol are the only thing that have even filmed so far. And I don't even think Doom Patrol's finished. They've just started casting actors for that show. So they still have some time. But yeah, in September, you'll have whatever comics are on there and Titans. I assume that's all we're going to get.
Batman the Animated Series?
Well, all the old stuff. Yeah. I mean, for the new content.
There was one other prize connected to this DC universe at the con if you pre-registered.
Oh, at the con.
Yes,
okay.
Which was I got a prize without even pre-registering. I got a prize connected to this, which was to watch Toby model the free T-shirt he got in the hotel room for signing up for 1 year in advance.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like a big winner without even paying anything.
Doesn't that harken back to some Metro ad?
Oh, jeez. What? No. But yeah, no, of course I'm in for this. I don't know how many people they signed up there. I assume they probably got quite a few people there, probably more than online. But it doesn't feel like I heard a lot of people. In fact, I don't know anyone that signed up for it, I guess short of Toby.
Yes. Charlie either did or is planning to, I think.
Right. Well, yeah, I assumed we will, right?
My hesitation is, do I really need another streaming service and more stuff to be behind on?
Well, that's... For most people, I assume when there's 5 or 6 shows on there, they'll get it for a month, binge a bunch of stuff, and get rid of it, right? Now, of course, I think a lot of the reason there may have been some hesitation to sign up for DC Universe is at the same time they premiered the Titans trailer, our first real look at the Titans TV show.
Yeah.
Now, I have prepaid for DC Universe, like of course I was going to, and I will watch the Titans show.
You like to torture yourself.
I'm just not gonna. I just have no other comment. I just have no other comment.
My question for you is,
I will watch it.
You're a serial. Is abdicator the right word for? I don't have enough time to do X, Y, and Z. You always have so many things you want to do, and you never have enough time. And your answer is
7 ongoing DC TV shows. I'll make time.
Your
for.
Answer 99% of the time is you have just too many shows to watch.
A lot of shows, man. A lot of shows.
Does a show make way now that this is introduced into your life? And if so, which one? And if not, where are you finding the extra time?
Figure it out when it happens.
Clothespins in your eyelids.
Yeah.
Binging at night.
No,
half an hour less sleep
theoretically,
every day.
you're not going to have clothespins in your eyes, and you're not going to make more time in the day. So what gives way?
Don't know. I'll figure it out. I seriously have no idea.
So is your comment on the Titans trailer, I'm going to watch Titans?
I'm going to watch Titans.
Okay.
You guys are more than welcome.
We'll get through this news fast.
You guys were more than welcome to talk about it.
But you were on Facebook saying that you were excited to defend the trailer.
No, I'm excited to defend the show once it's actually out. I have no defense for the trailer. I'm not going to even bother.
That trailer was a hot, steaming polish.
You guys have fun.
Oh, well, if I can't fight you,
Yeah, Bryce just deflated for those who aren't here.
He's letting you punch him.
I have no desire to punch him if he's not going to fight back. Like, oh, God. This is boring. I finished Westworld.
It was so good.
I just... I don't know what to say.
What are they thinking?
What are they thinking, Higgins?
That's what we want to know.
The people demand your opinion on what does Robin say? Fuck, they are thinking.
Because, look, you have something to do with this. You've got to have some pull here at some point.
He has none.
We
What
know that Johns
are you
calls
thinking?
you for advice.
Yeah, I wish. So Titans. Not what I would do. Right? I think I could tell you what I like and what I don't like. But at the end of the day...
I'm curious what you liked, but
at the end of the day, this is not what I would have done with the Titans. All right? I think Robin looks good. I like the costume. I think Beast Boy looks as fine as you're going to get Beast Boy to look on a TV show. I have no complaints about Beast Boy.
The whole 1.5 seconds you saw of him.
Yeah, sure. I think Raven looks fine.
If that.
Raven looks exactly what I expected a live-action version of Raven on TV to look like.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Right, of course. Yeah, just
disagree, but...
Teenage goth chick walking around, teenage emo goth chick walking around.
Okay, fair enough.
Gotham,
that
I guess. Right? Yeah, sure. She was totally fine.
Well.
For the eighth of a millisecond we saw Hawk and Dove, they look fucking incredible. I don't like they look like Hawk and Dove. Like it was shocking that they look exactly like Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, in the eighth of a millisecond. You're right.
Yeah, I have absolutely no defense for Starfire. I don't like she looks god awful. I don't know what and we thought, okay, these are the shots beforehand.
I mean, she's supposed to be a straight supermodel.
I mean,
no. I mean, that's the way she's.
That is her character.
That's her character.
Sure. I don't in this. I don't know.
Not so much. No Naomi Campbell there.
The actress is fine. That's not my complaint. It's the outfit looks.
The outfit.
Like, why is she just in jeans and a t-shirt with like normal long hair, and then when she flames on, just
what's that all about?
I mean, that's all we need. Again, it could just be this is what she looks like in the pilot, and then no other episode. But I don't know what the thought there is. Batman or Robin.
Like we said before, you've got some pull.
No, I don't.
We'd like you to send in.
I have no pull.
Some kind of message.
Well, at the Geoff Johns panel, it did have at the end of that trailer an approved by Ryan Higgins
Jesus Christ.
tag on the screen.
Right there.
If you guys have any comments or concerns about the production value,
at Ryan Higgins Ryan.
We've asked all of our employees. Nobody will defend this unilaterally, but we know a man
who will
defend us
who
unilaterally.
will answer the call.
No matter how bad it is, we know a guy.
Send up the Titan signal. He's coming to the rescue.
I'm not gonna defend Robin like straight up breaking that dude's neck. Apparently, that's what it seemed like. Like, okay, sure. I will defend fuck Batman because if there's anything, whether it's in the 1980s or in 2018, Robin of that age becoming Nightwing would absolutely say fuck Batman. I'm okay with that. If it's Nightwing. This is the transition where he becomes Nightwing. This is the story. This is what is going on during this run on Titans.
So the F word felt like it was in there for shock value.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it's not that the character beat is wrong, but he could have said, screw Batman, or even, who's Batman? Something like, you could have made that point. I don't have a problem with R-rated superheroes. Sure. I find it a little strange as an idea, but whatever. It's just, R-rated Teen Titans is not the hill I would die on if I were DC
I have a question for you. Now, this is going to really come out of nowhere, but only because I know people have seen the preview art, and this is real. How do you feel about Batman's dick being in a comic? Like, full dick. Not full dick, but, I'm not talking dick racing either. I'm talking, like, you see testicles and penis.
Are you talking about in the regular Batman comic book?
In a comic book published by DC Comics that is a Batman comic. This is Batman on the front, and it's Bruce Wayne, and it's Batman, and it's going to be in comic book stores. And it's by creators you know.
But my question would just be, why? Is it in there just to be shocking? To be that's the Batman Dick comic.
I don't know.
Is it just there? Is it erect? Or I mean, what is it?
I mean, I haven't seen the art, so I can't say.
There's different levels here.
Because
Brock will only buy it in one of those cases.
Fully erect.
Ryan, to answer your rhetorical question, would be
it's not rhetorical. That's the thing.
so that's real.
Yeah.
I thought you were just trying to come up with an example.
Are we going to take random guesses at what you're talking about?
You know exactly what
I know
it is.
exactly what you're talking about.
Whataboutism at its finest right now. You've totally deflected from the Teen Titans
That's
show.
why they're putting it out that way.
No, my question is because DC is like I think every company on Earth realizing nobody cares. Adults are fine. Adults are the ones reading this. We can have nudity and swearing. Nobody cares anymore.
It feels like a
nudity.
It feels like a Mark Millar comic would do that.
Yeah.
And my
The
question
greatest insult.
My question
like
would
I was
be-
just like shocked. I couldn't reply.
Yeah, but your question was, what do you think about Batman's or Bruce Wayne's dick being in a comic? My answer would be, is that the only story choice that was available? There's no other way to tell this without showing the dick, because it feels like a Millar, like, haha, wink, wink.
As I
I'm gonna
understand,
shock
it's
you
not
all.
like, hey, it's just like sitting in shadows and it's there, but it's not.
Ryan is gesticulating grandly with his hands.
And Brock's like, "Here, Ryan, take my money."
No, this is something I'm actually debating not purchasing.
Anyway, so it just
But
seems,
not because of the bat dick.
So it just seems like a desperate and lame move to be like, that's lame with an M. There you go.
It's not a lane move.
To sort of resort to the lowest, and as a gentleman, handsome gentleman that swears a lot and
Sits in the shadows naked.
and sits in the shadows, not just the shadows, and an appreciator of a good dick pic. I have to say
Oh, jeez.
that DC's choice to be like, yeah, we will get a bunch more. We will get 1,000 more 13-year-old Twitter re-forwards if we have this little clip in here is sort of a bummer. Like Kevin said, there must have been somebody overseeing this that was like, yeah, that seems like a good choice.
Yeah, his name was Geoff Johns.
Let's have him say that. I mean, that's disappointing if it is. You think that he was the guy that gave the final thumbs up on fuck Batman?
Yeah, I mean, he had a big part in the shows. Yeah.
Did Geoff Johns want to go in there and tell Robin that he'd be nothing without Batman? Did he want to mention that? Because that's
to me though, this is Robin at this point though, right? I mean, Kevin,
Right.
Teen Titans fan, you're not.
I just said it's not the character beat I have a problem
Right,
with. It's
right.
do you have to have Robin saying fuck Batman in your Teen Titans preview?
Yeah.
Is this really? If you told me Swamp Thing's going to be hard R rated, I'd say yeah.
Well, my joke was
cool.
my joke was Teen Titans or Swamp Thing is going to be like a G-rated, like adventure romp.
yeah, that was good. The Sunny Adventures of Swamp Thing.
Yeah. do. Swamp Thing.
Beauty in the Green, baby.
Yeah, I just don't know. Look at Riverdale. It's a super popular show on CW. It's a super popular show on Netflix that took very G-rated characters for the most part, and it has this very hard PG-13 vibe. This clearly what they're
line-
going.
You just said, yeah, Bryce, hard PG-13 vibe.
Hey, you could drop an F-bomb in
Hard PG-13. Oh, those 13-year-olds are getting really.
you could
rough
drop an
in
F-bomb
tumble.
into PG-13. You could drop. I think you get one.
You get one.
Maybe that's the. Okay.
Right.
Have you ever seen True Blood?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That,
Now,
it was
I'm not
great until the Werepanthers.
Panthers? Yes.
Fuck
Okay,
that
I
shit.
will not defend the last few seasons of True Blood, okay? But think about those first few seasons. Do you remember the first couple episodes? How it was like a fucking hardcore porn for the first few episodes?
Yeah, it was on Showtime.
But it stops being that pretty quickly. It's those first handful of episodes you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that
But
was
then they-
brand new IP. That
but-
wasn't like,
but-
how do we get these 13-year-olds that already know about
Stargate.
Batman and Robin?
Stargate. The first episode of Stargate SG-1 had full frontal nudity, full frontal female nudity, and then they never did it again, right?
Okay, at the risk of alienating half of our audience, what the fuck is Stargate? Who cares about Stargate?
I'm in the middle of watching all 17
Nobody
seasons.
watches Stargate. Go fuck yourself.
There is a history of shows.
Game of Thrones had the same thing.
Game of Thrones
the first season is ridiculous.
You guys are proving the point that these shows do it to get a foot in the door with their shock value. Batman IP, DC IP shouldn't have to resort to that. That's lame. End of story.
I'm not saying it's not lame, but I'm saying there's a precedence here for this.
It's precedent, not precedence.
Okay. I agree with Bryce, and I think there are. My favorite news out of San Diego is relevant to an R-rated superhero. But my point is, there are other vehicles I would use if I were DC as the R-rated material, not the goddamn Teen Titans of all things. Are you kidding? I mean, what's next? Angel and the Ape as your R-rated? Sugar and Spike? I mean, those are the only things further down the ladder from Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go R-rated.
Would you be shocked?
No, not at this point, not so much.
Anyway.
Well, we'll find out. I guarantee you the Stargirl series, it probably won't be hard PG-13.
And doesn't that seem like the equivalent type of character to the Teen Titans, Stargirl?
Yeah, but it depends.
Yeppers on that one.
It depends, but again, it depends on the story. This, from what I understand, this Titans arc is the Robin to Nightwing transition, and there's a lot of anger there. You have characters like Raven and Starfire. Maybe they lend themselves to slightly darker stories. Clearly, from that trailer, Raven's kind of seems to be the main. I say main character, but I think the Trigon element, or at least, her story is going to be kind of the driving force of this. So it makes sense to be a little darker.
Be an emo teenager. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I think I don't see Stargirl being like that.
Stargirl's going to be on the farm, and she's going to be
doing
Smallville shit.
But we have you're talking about
they need a savvy tech girl doing right on the computers too.
Kevin, you're talking about the Geoff Johns panel.
That's
besides the Stargirl
niece.
There were two other things announced there at the same time. Johns is returning again, doing more comic work with the Shazam series, which you knew about, with Dale Eaglesham on art. Who that's the same creative team that was doing JSA back in the late '90s, early 2000s. Fantastic. So happy that he's back. Doing obviously more comics, but specifically Shazam, and specifically with Dale Eaglesham. I really want to see what is. I mean, I don't know who the cover that they showed. They showed
the guys on the roller coaster. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. Great cover. So I'm super excited for that Shazam book. Hard R rating on that Shazam book too, by the way, Bryce.
For sure.
So full frontal Shazam, and then
that'd be an equally good vehicle for R rated.
Little Billy. Yeah. So full frontal on the front, just Little Billy right there. I
prefer Big Willie as opposed to Little Billy.
Well, Big Willie is after the lightning hits. Little Billy is
so to speak.
Yes.
Well, and if there's another book coming out that might be more mature, that is Three Jokers, because that is going to be another Black Label book. This is the Three Jokers storyline that Geoff Johns has been talking about for many years at this point. This was something from
2016
end of his run on
well, no, this was what was introduced in the DC universe.
Well, no, the Three Joker stuff comes from Darkseid War. That's when
the Darkseid?
That's when he first is like kind of.
That's when he teases it, but he goes into it a little bit,
right? And then Rebirth has more of it. So this is going to be Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok. Now, Black Label is where we're getting Batman Damned, right? Which is the Brian Azzarello series with Little Bruce. So I don't know what the plan here is. I mean, Black Label is supposed to be out of continuity. Three Jokers is supposed to be dead set in continuity. But we have Joker back to being kind of as normal as a Joker can be in Snyder's Justice League right now. So I don't know what the deal with this is here.
I don't know. I think that...
Did he talk about it? I didn't read too many of the interviews.
Yes, but he was very coy.
Right.
So I couldn't really offer you anything that isn't already out there.
I'm just wondering how customers are going to react to the European style
Well, they're just magazine. They're not. It's not. They're not even like the graphic album size. I believe they're just magazine size.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, and again, I don't know if that applies.
But I guess you have to do that if you're going to do Little Bruce. You have to have a big enough.
But we don't know if that applies to everything as well. That I don't know that that's going to be every book. Every creator may be able to choose whatever format they want. I've expressed my concern that a magazine format will make sales difficult. A lot of readers don't like larger format. I'm not going to speak for everyone. The art looks incredible, but who knows?
I mean, doing regular single issues and then doing those oversized hardcover single issues, like what they did with Dark Knight, I think would work well. The Master Race.
Yeah, sure,
I think doing that would be great. And then the last issue, you get a nice little collecting slipcase for all of them.
Yeah.
That would be the way to go.
I'd be very curious to see what they're going to do.
Because Black Label's out, next month?
No. We just ordered it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still going to be a while. Whoa, hey.
What the?
Autoplay is the worst. Another TV announcement. We were waiting to hear who was going to be kind of involved in some of these Netflix shows. There wasn't too much. They had a lot of panels, but I don't think there was a lot mentioned. Except for Iron Fist.
Yes,
Yay, Iron Fist season 2.
Jeff Loeb's costume choice at the Iron Fist panel.
Yeah. That was good. That was good times. Typhoid Mary is going to be the villain in the second season of.
Is anybody going to care?
Of Iron Fist? Well, it's
what?
All new showrunners.
Did you like that season, Iron Fist?
I hated Iron Fist season 1, but I love Typhoid Mary. I wish that she was the villain in a Daredevil
and
season,
she's being played by Alice Eve as well, who is
I don't know who
perfect casting.
Is she crazy? Is she crazy?
She was in Star Trek. Star Trek Into Darkness?
Was she in Stargate or whatever?
No.
Was it
She was in the second one. Yeah.
Oh, Into Darkness. Then.
Yeah. Yeah, look up Alice Eve. I think she's perfect for it.
You know, I will say, I can't remember, while you're looking up news, I can't remember what I saw this at, but there was somewhere where they were talking about Superman Year One, the Frank Miller series.
Yeah. Superman with him and Romita Jr. Yeah,
and I just reminded because of Typhoid Mary, because of the Daredevil run. Yeah, but they said, this is going to be so great. Both of these men are doing the best work of their careers, and I'm like, okay. And then they go take a look at these pages, and they put up a big projection of 2 pages from it, and it looks exactly like current Romita Jr.
Right.
So I'd leave that without comment.
Not too surprised. I want nothing more than an awesome Iron Fist TV show. I am super hopeful for the second season.
Why?
Because it's all new people doing it. It's different showrunners, different.
But it's the same actor, which is already.
I don't hate him. I think they just needed to change up who was involved.
Are they going to get
Scott's face?
Are they going to get him to actually learn kung fu?
There is I don't have it in front of me.
Or sorry, Jeff Loeb, karate.
They got.
Just kidding.
Someone wants to look it up, or I can look it up while we're talking to the next thing. They hired a choreographer from some other
Into
famous.
the Badlands?
Is it Into the Badlands? I have
don't know,
no.
but it should be.
Something like that.
Into the Badlands is really good.
I can look it up.
It's not really good, but it's really good.
They hired a choreographer that knows how to
really
do
good.
fight scenes. So hopefully that means.
So are the fight scenes the problem with Iron Fist?
No, they are one of a litany of problems.
Right. But I think having a real villain like Typhoid Mary, having good fight scenes, I can kind of forgive some stuff if those parts are interesting.
The more holes you patch, the easier the other holes become to deal with.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, love Typhoid Mary character. This actress, I don't know her from anybody, so I don't know if I'm sure she's great. But I don't like Typhoid Mary. I'm not casting, judgment yet, obviously, but I don't see Typhoid Mary as like a season villain.
Oh, it's Black Panther's fight coordinator. That's who it is. Thank you. Me and Scott both pulled it up at the same
Black
point.
Panther was fucking
Some
incredible.
good fight scenes in that movie. So
yeah, some great martial arts in that movie.
There were some
Those CG ones,
Iron Fist is going to be riding a. He's going to be riding a.
I think that she makes a great
rhinoceros.
antagonist, not a great main villain though.
Agreed.
Obviously,
especially for Iron Fist.
That's what I'm saying. So I understand if they do the Daredevil treatment where they make her like a half quasi love interest, then that's one thing. I just don't see her carrying the villainy of a show for a whole season.
Well, one of the problems with Iron Fist is you have classic villains like Sabretooth and...
Yeah, no. Brock and Scott are showing me pictures of this girl. She looks...
Nope, just Sabretooth. I mean, that's it. That's it. Sorry, I was racking my brain, but no, just Sabretooth. No. He has no villains.
He could fight the Hand the whole season.
No,
if it's in the Badlands style.
No. The Hand can never be in these shows again. They have they've ruined the Hand. I never want to see the Hand back.
What if they bring the Foot in?
Just because
I'd be okay with that.
Just because they brought the Hand into. Wait, did I get that right? The Hand, the Foot. Okay, yeah. Because Ninja Turtles confused
Foot Clan.
Yeah. Just because they brought it into Defenders, which I don't think they should have.
They were in all the other shows. I mean, they were in all of them, and they fucking ruined the Hand. Like, don't ever use those characters again.
I totally disagree.
Let me think outside the box here for an Iron Fist idea.
Okay.
Why don't you just fold two shows together and call it Heroes for Hire?
That, of course, that is the obvious answer. I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place, but they're not. So
yeah.
Well, the thing is like was it Bryson was doing that relaunch of Iron
Fist,
which was good, and they brought in the different clans and stuff like that. I'm like, that's something that I think
they really need to go to the Steel Serpent more. They need to go.
The only thing you could do with Iron Fist, it's just the same thing there I was doing. It was like, Kung Fu tournament, okay, and I'd be fine with that, honestly, right? I'd totally be fine with it, but it would be a little like, What else are you going to do?
The Drunken Monkey Clan.
How, when they were thinking of this Netflix arc that they were going to do, this great Netflix arc of the quote-unquote Marvel Knights, what were they thinking when they were like, Iron Fist, he's got more than one season of solo TV?
Well, no,
like,
they thought we're going to make the Hand and Elektra be like the ultimate villains of this, and it's like, that sounds great on paper. They just fucked it up royally. Like, they just did a bad job with it.
I mean...
Defenders is pretty shit, man.
So I've got
Oh, no.
Defenders
pretty shit. I'm not going to say that it's winning any awards, but, like, that's a little harsh, mister. Like, I fucking love the CW. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It was a solid 10 episodes. So while we were chatting, I'm looking up online because I do
You're
have
a big Iron Fist fan.
I'm a big Iron Fist fan. I'm racking my brain for Iron Fist villains other than,
kind of newer
the Hand
stuff.
So
yeah.
I come across this list of his enemies.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Acarus.
Oh god.
Abe Jenkins.
And I mean, they can make any character work.
Absorbing
right?
Man.
He's not an Iron Fist villain.
Agamotto.
He's not an Iron Fist villain either.
Al Aspec.
Okay,
Al Aspec is a South African chimera
You're
god
reading all
beast.
Marvel villains in alphabetical order.
He literally is. He's on Comic Vine. Look, what they need to do is they need to do the Broodbreaker, the last Iron Fist run.
Yeah,
they just bring in like an old weathered Iron Fist that like shows him the way. Like there are so many things. They don't need a good villain, and so if they make Typhoid Mary like this part character in the season, and they have a separate, storyline that doesn't make her the quote-unquote villain, that's awesome.
I can't believe we're giving this much fucking time to Iron Fist.
We really got bogged down here.
That's a good point.
Donny Cates
that's a good point.
Is going to be writing his 97th book for Marvel. He's going to be relaunching Marvel Knights.
Along with, thank God, I've been waiting since 96. I've been wondering when 97 is coming out.
Along with Matthew Rosenberg, Tina Howard, Vita Ayala, and other people. They don't have a lot of info on that, but
is it Marvel Knights or are they doing the individual titles?
No, I think the line. Like there's going to be like a return of that group of characters, which Marvel Knights is basically what's on Netflix right now. Those are these are the Marvel Knights characters. Throw in Punisher. Oh, he's on there too. Throw in like Moon Knight. Throw in Cloak and Dagger. That's sort of Ghost Rider, all the Street Team guys.
What happened with the Punisher season 1? Is that going to come out still?
It's hard. Punisher came out like 9 months ago or something.
Punisher season 2.
Really good.
Punisher season 2. I saw Punisher season 1. It was great.
Yeah, I assume so.
I think season 2 is filming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So very curious to see what they're going to do for more Marvel Knights.
We're all waiting for Daredevil season 3.
They've tried to connect these characters a little bit, but it never. Like they did that big Daredevil relaunch last year where they're like, we're going to launch Elektra, Bullseye and Kingpin into their own goings. I mean, into their 5-issue miniseries. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, the thing is like I honestly think that they need to get away from like Marvel Knights. Like I liked the Max.
What?
I understand the Marvel Knights line, but if you're going to do that, so just do the Max line, which is the one where you go more hard R in the books,
hard
PG-13.
Just make sure it's a hard PG-13.
Okay, let me
not
rephrase.
just PG-13.
A soft
Those
R.
13-year-olds.
You're doing a soft R
edgy
with the
ones.
Max stuff, right? So, like, why aren't they doing that? What's this Marvel Knights? Yeah, whatever.
Marvel Knights is fine. I really
why
no.
do you care? It is the same thing. Like
Marvel Knights is better than Max to me because the Max books, like you guys kind of say, you're kind of stretching for adult content. And while the Punisher book was really good, nothing else released under Max was really worthwhile. Marvel Knights is perfect because you could have like a harder-edged Marvel continuity, which I like.
Not even hard. I mean, maybe we're talking about the same thing, but just like darker.
Yeah,
without that. Yeah, with or without that voice.
What are you,
like
a DC Universe?
Yes.
movie universe. There's nothing about your little DC comic universe that's dark,
That's pretty dark.
except for fuck Batman. Shit.
What's the next one?
That is dark AF. That is hard PG-13.
Batman. I think you guys like that character, Batman.
Heard him.
Yeah.
His classic trunks.
Hashtag Batman is California.
His classic trunks are back, baby. He's going to be back in the red trunks on Batman. No, I'm just kidding. But Batman's going back to his regular costume. Thank God, I hated that Capullo costume. Nothing. I love Greg Capullo. I wouldn't want to arm wrestle him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
That makes
By the way,
that
speaking
makes
of that,
one of us.
Toby Tangent, hashtag Toby Tangent coming up from me. Speaking of that, the night when Toby said that Bryce wanted to wrestle Capullo to Snyder, and Snyder told us that whole story. Remember that?
Oh, yes. That was
Remember
on
that
the
guy
podcast.
accosting him at the club?
Yeah.
And like Frank Thierry stepping in and
Right,
saying,
right.
"You fight Snyder, you fight two men."
Right,
Well,
right.
I met Thierry at the con.
Yeah.
And he's exactly like that personality.
yeah.
Like 100% Brooklyn.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
my favorite character is the Thing because I sound like the Thing. And I even, when they asked me a question at the trivia, and I said, well, as much as I'd like to team with Thierry, I'm going with Andreyko. And Frank's like, oh, you're dead to me. Like shouts it at me across the room. Okay, sorry, tangent over.
Wait a minute.
That's great.
First of all, can you rewind? Toby told Scott Snyder that I
That
wanted
you
to...
want to arm wrestle Capullo.
What the fuck, Toby? God damn it.
Thank you for supporting the podcast by listening to episodes you're not on.
I'm just a little behind.
Yeah, that was the metal wrap up.
I listened to... Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wasn't I even on that episode?
So Snyder told us
said
this.
that before I knew of this motherfucker. So
Snyder told us this story about some guy accosting him like at a club or
Yeah,
something they
yeah.
were at, and this guy Frank Thierry steps in. and it's like,
it was at one of the cons.
if you want to fight Snyder, you're fighting two men. To whoever
Wait,
this
wait,
fan
Capullo
was.
said this or Frank
no,
said this?
Frank
Frank
Thierry said to this fan, if you want to. So that's what Snyder was
Fane
saying.
wants to fight Scott Snyder. He's so nice.
No,
Yeah.
it was a what do you call it?
Hooker?
Bouncer.
Oh.
Yeah.
A bouncer wanted to.
A bouncer was accosting Snyder at this club.
Okay, so
letting him
was
do that.
Snyder 3 sheets to the wind? Why is the bouncer...
I don't know.
Bouncers don't pick fights.
I'm sorry to
Bouncers
take us
stop
this far
fights.
down this tangent, but you mentioned Capullo drawing the
Yes.
costume.
So Batman, if
The
you're
Our
inevitable
bouncer in
encounter with-
attendance here.
The inevitable encounter with me and Greg Capullo is going to be quite awkward when I have to explain to him that I didn't know of his size or stature.
The best
I
part
can
was
just imagine it with his arm around your neck going,
No, Bryce, the best part was that Toby did not talk at all during that interview until the very end. I even gestured to Toby. He goes, no, I've got something for the end. And at the very end, as we're about to hang up before I mentioned Elvis,
Yeah.
Toby goes, well, we have this guy, Bryce.
That's
who,
what he-
Yes, who wants to fight Greg Capullo.
Fight! He said fight!
I can't remember. Maybe you could listen to the episode.
God damn
If
it.
you don't want to support the podcast, just skip to the end and you'll hear this part.
God damn it, Toby.
Well, Batman is going to be back in somewhat classic, very classic, well, modern classic, uniform.
Blue or black and gray?
I mean, normal Batman-y, Jim Lee Batman-y kind of. I don't like the yellow around the bat symbol. I never liked that. The newer design.
What a nerdy complaint. Like, what's wrong with that? Who cares?
I don't.
There's a little yellow around your thing. Like, you're defending fuck Batman, but you don't like yellow around the bat symbol?
Wait, are you talking about the outline on the Capullo
Yeah.
or the circle?
No, the outline.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like the outline.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they debusied what made less busy, the Batman costume, but I think they're going to make it even a little less busy and go back to something a little better. But they were talking about this because they're also talking about the lead up to Detective 1000, which is coming out in March. Yes, Brock, get ready to start packing some variant covers.
Damn it.
Peter Tomasi is taking over Detective Comics pretty soon in the lead up to 1000. I'm very happy. He's done excellent work with Batman in the past.
95%.
Very, very excited for Peter Tomasi's return on Detective. Now, Kevin, the biggest piece of news you were excited for, I don't want to crush your dreams.
But you think it's not going to happen?
But I would not put money on this happening anytime soon because this has just been drug out for so long.
I understand that. If the EIC hadn't been the one, not Cup of Joe, who's promised it before, but I mean, what CB,
CB Cebulski,
because he has credibility with me now because he's new and he has not misled the fans.
Yet.
Well, it's not me; it's the so
Neil Gaiman has apparently worked with Marvel for whatever has kept them from doing Miracleman for the third time.
No, this might happen.
They said Gaiman is writing and Buckingham is drawing
as we speak.
Ready for publication. But I believe they said next year.
They said this before.
They said this already. I'm over this.
So they started to do the Silver Age reprints, which is where the series got cut off.
Correct.
And so they canceled those because they said, no, we're going to release these once we get a few more issues in the can. The implication was there was an issue in the can.
Isn't this like a decade ago?
But Neil tweeted about this also.
Yeah, he also talked about it happening like 6 years ago.
Okay, so it is 6 years.
I would be hesitant to get your hopes up.
Just wait for the omnibus.
I would be hesitant when it's solicited. When it is on FOC, then get excited.
Look, so will you tell me when it's on FOC and I can get excited? Because that is seriously...
You can check the news, the weekly...
Speaking of R-rated superheroes, this is my number one piece of news from this whole con. The thing I was the most excited about. They announced it at that retailer's summit thing.
Oh, you didn't tell me about the retailer. I didn't
want to bog down the show with retailer talk.
No. I mean,
we do retailer talk at the time.
I mean, just general.
Okay,
you went to the Diamond retailer.
Myself,
summit.
Charlie, and Toby went to the retailer.
So Toby did get in. He never even told me. Okay, perfect.
They served us a lunch. It was like being in an auditorium where each company came up and gave their business presentation with like a PowerPoint and some video clips.
Where's
and
my
stuff
DC swag from that?
You can talk to those guys. As Thierry said, you're dead to me.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, so each company got up and kind of pitched like what they're doing. They also had some like stores that won some awards from Diamond and things like that. Yep. But yeah, it was cool.
Didn't bitch as much this year.
we got to hear about the upcoming product that they're most excited about from each studio. There was a studio. These guys will have to. I don't know how much of this is supposed to be on the down low, but there was, so I'm not going to go into too much, but there is a studio, I think it was Boom, but I can't, by the end, this is a 3-hour lunch.
Yeah.
It's like sitting in a work presentation. By the end, I was a little numb on who announced what, but I will say that I believe it was Boom announced a 1 in 250 special variant glass cover comic book.
That sounds like Valiant.
Okay, whoever it was.
That sounds like Valiant.
A 1 in 250 glass cover for some comic.
Okay, that sounds like Valiant.
Is it for the movie adaptation Glass?
No. but good tie-in. Solid marketing.
Okay, hold on. Glass variant, you realize none of these will get to come.
It's a company that has done some other a metal variant, or
that was Valiant.
Okay, so yes,
Valiant.
They were saying based on the success of our metal variant, we're now going to come through with a glass variant.
Dude, they're going to have to ship that thing in like a fucking Pelican case.
Brock, you could give advice on how to ship it.
Oh, fuck.
Diamond's going to ship them in no bag and board. That's what they're going to do. Shoved in between like 7 hardcovers.
They're going to have that. They're going to have that plastic across the glass that normally keeps it from getting fingerprints.
Yeah.
But all it's doing is holding the broken pieces together.
Yeah, but basically that's what it was. Is like an overview of what each company has coming up. And Donnie Cates was there for Marvel.
Yep.
And
announcing his 98th book.
That guy was just cranked to 11. That guy's energy level was just sky high. He seemed super excited
because of all the he'd done.
Okay, we're gonna go backwards.
Okay.
You can't bring up the Mr. Miracle thing and or Miracleman thing and tell me it's not going to happen. Because 6 years ago, I got really excited about it, and then you said it might happen again, and I got really excited again, and you're saying it's not going to happen.
Well, no, that means it'll happen.
Tell me these things.
That means it'll happen, right? I want it to happen. I just would not get your hopes up because
my hopes are up, and it's on you.
They're sky high. This is the second time.
You better call in some favors.
That is my favorite Alan Moore work, period. And the Gaiman I can't judge because we never got to see the end of it.
Yeah.
But CB, and I'm not saying him as a friend, I'm saying I can't remember his last name.
He was too busy with Puzzle Quest.
He said, his quote was, "We have cleared away the last of the hurdles, and we're moving forward full speed ahead." I'm maybe not verbatim, but that's pretty close.
I'm just waiting for an omnibus of the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
like,
what
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm like the last way they did it, where it's like, oh, let's reprint stuff. It's bagged. Let's reprint. Yeah. I'm like, I'm done. Like, just release the omnibus.
Now I'm behind on my comic books pretty regularly. Although I'm only 1 week behind on new releases right now, so that's really good. Except for the 17 long boxes of old stuff in my garage.
Behind.
But of like the current stuff. I'm always behind on my TV shows, and I'm even behind on my DC animated movies, and they just announced 4 more for 2019. So, Death of Superman, which comes out pretty soon, they had the premiere at Comic-Con.
Charlie saw that. He was the only one of us who saw it.
Oh, cool.
Lane, you didn't go. Okay, yeah. Right, you were with us for the phone call. Charlie was at the theater when Toby was calling you when we.
Oh, is that where he was?
Yes.
Okay.
He was the smart one.
Reign of Superman will be out in early 2019, so it's a 2-part, which makes sense. I mean, they're going to deal with Steel and Cyborg and Superboy and Connor Kent and everything.
And Charlie really glowed about the movie.
Yeah, I heard really good things about it. Yeah, very excited.
Wow.
Yeah,
Charlie liked it.
Okay,
remember, Charlie actually hated the Harley Quinn one.
Almost all the DC animated movies are at least decent.
Oh no! I'm not throwing shade at the DC animated movies. I've heard that they're all really good.
The very first one they
Charlie
ever did
about like what are you gonna are you gonna fucking expect a rotten score for anything from Charlie?
The very first one they did was Death of Superman, and it was not good. Like it was just they didn't quite know what they were doing. I think yet. So I'm
that one was
yeah. So Justice League versus the Fatal Five is another one coming up. Now, Fatal 5, Classic Legion Superhero Villains. I wonder if this is going to be called Legion of Superheroes versus the Fatal 5 starring the Justice League, because I kind of feel like they just can't call it Legion of Superheroes because nobody knows what that is. But people know what Justice League is, right?
Legion of Superheroes?
And then the big one, Batman Hush. Batman Hush is getting a full animated movie mid-2019. That should be fucking fantastic, based off the Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee series. And then following up, 2019 is going to be, after a 10-year hiatus, the second Wonder Woman movie called Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Now, my good friend Raphael, good friend of the store, who's a hardcore Wonder Woman fan, the belief is this is going to be based on the Brian Azzarello New 52 run. Mm-hmm. Bloodlines just seems like a natural connection to her extended family that's introduced in that series. So, oh boy, 5 more DC animated movies to sit on my shelf for me to watch.
So you've already put in your Amazon pre-orders, right?
I did not, because they're not up yet, but what I did put in my Amazon pre-order for, also announced at Comic-Con, was the Batman Animated Series complete Blu-ray collection.
With a bunch of Funko Pops, right?
Yeah, whatever. I'll throw this in the garbage. The thing that put it over the edge for me is it also comes with Batman Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero as well, which I actually didn't have the Blu-rays around my list. And to me, that brings the price down like $30 because those are $30, $20. Right? No. They're available in individual Blu-rays. But
do people still buy Blu-rays?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Ryan's about to add to his gleaming collection of shrink-wrapped Blu-rays on your shelf.
Well, no, this would be a perfect time so I can get rid of my animated series DVDs, right? And I've wanted to replace. I have a couple of the movies on DVD. I'd wanted to replace them on Blu-ray to get a new version. So yeah, and now to get them in the packages is perfect. Limited to 30,000 copies, so someone's buying them.
And at the con, Warner Brothers announced that over 2,000 had already been pre-ordered the day
The
they
day it
announced
came out, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know.
People have been waiting
Like
for
Bryce,
a long
I haven't
time.
I haven't bought physical media in.
So I only buy the
At least 8
superhero
years.
stuff and like Star Wars,
Yeah.
like that's and Disney.
I'm
That's
pretty much,
all I buy.
I'm pretty much it's superheroes, eye candy, sci-fi fantasy shit.
You're like a monk.
Superhero movies, 19 a
Only
year.
the
Right?
superhero movies and cartoons.
Do you buy all
the
your
Disney
Switch games
movies
digitally
and-
or physically?
and all the
Bryce?
TV shows
I
on
haven't-
Blu-ray?
Do you not buy collector's edition World of Warcraft boxes?
Yeah,
Digital
but
only?
that's my like one thing, and that's every 2 or 3 years, right? But like physical media, I don't. I mean, like this is the world that we live in now. I for better for worse, don't buy like. I can't watch My Neighbor Totoro right now, as hard as that makes my life, because my fucking kids ruined the Blu-ray that we had, and they don't offer it in the iTunes store, and I'm not
Right.
going to fucking buy a new one.
All right.
I buy all my Switch games digitally. I buy all my movies on the iOS fucking whatever cloud universe. Yeah, so I'm not like you with the. I only buy. It just bears repeating. Only superhero related stuff, sci-fi related stuff, Disney related stuff, and Switch games. Other than that, I don't buy anything physical.
Comic books.
Yeah. Stick in long
I do
boxes
buy-
and never read it.
Comic books.
So lots of good movies coming up from DC. I'm surprised we didn't actually hear any Marvel animated stuff. I think they talked about the talked about the Marvel Rising, I think, but I don't think I saw any other
They didn't
Marvel
talk about that
animated.
new Spider-Man anime.
Lane,
coming
wasn't
out.
the Marvel
Yeah,
presence at the
Spider-Verse, they
con
did.
mostly like live action stuff, right?
It was the Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I guess I was counting Legion and the Gifted. In
I love Lane's answer. Yeah.
Thanks for your contribution, Lane.
Well, with a lot of this, like I don't have anything to say about the CW stuff either because like they released trailers for the season, but then, I mean it's just
it's just
what's
next season's coming up.
yeah.
I mean,
there's not
powerful.
I mean they had a ton of stuff on Walking Dead, but it's just and more stuff. I mean, we already knew that Andrew Garfield. Jesus, we already knew that
Andrew Lincoln.
Thank you,
Yeah.
is off the show. So
yeah.
like.
What?
Did you just spoil that for me?
That is the spoiler level something.
I mean, I don't know what happened to him, but
It's
he's
serious.
No, at the end of this past
Did you not know
season-
that?
No, it,
Whoa, don't spoil
yeah, he's
it.
leaving the
Just because
show.
he's not on the show, I don't know how he goes out.
no, it's been announced. He's announced it.
Next season.
next season.
Some of us don't troll online looking
Yeah.
for crap like that,
Yeah.
and you just spoiled it for me.
I didn't
Yeah.
spoil shit.
You
I
said
don't know what
Andrew
happens.
Lincoln is not going to be on Walking Dead.
That's
for
at
next
least
year.
a spoiler level 1. That might be level 2, motherfucker.
He's leaving the show after next year. I don't know
So
any.
we have a season and a half left
a
of
season.
Andrew
A
Lincoln?
season. One
Don't
season.
we have a half season?
How-
Oh, no,
what-
we're done.
No, it's just
one
one
full
season.
season.
Him and Maggie are only going to be in like roughly half.
Why do you keep going? Why do you keep going?
Come on!
We're in the middle of like fucking verbally flatulating you. Wait, not flatulating. What's the one where you hit
Man,
the guy?
listeners,
Not
you really should wish there was a
No.
camera. You should do a GoFundMe for a camera to film some of these episodes.
We have Tobias, who usually has a camera. He just takes 6 months per weekly episode to.
Wait, hold. Scott has an announcement at the end of the show.
No, I feel like I should get to announce it because I was the one that texted him.
Okay.
Toby's already sent the bonus file to you, motherfucker.
Hey, all right, cool. I haven't got it. Nice. That's fine. I'll figure it out later.
Per your request.
I'll put it up in like 3 months. So
He's got it for you on a Blu-ray.
It'll be very timely around the Thanksgiving release.
Hey, he put that bonus content of my kids reviewing Incredibles 2 up, so you know.
87 floppy disks.
Oh God!
But no, these guys. I
Those
mean,
aren't
actors.
discs. That's not how it's spelled.
Actors announce when they're leaving shows, but we don't know what's going to happen to them. We have no idea. Maybe they walk to the sunset.
If it's a season from now, I'll let it
Yeah.
pass. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying that he's off starting this current season.
No.
Um,
Bryce, the only news you care about from this convention is that Uncanny X-Men is coming back. We have no creative team. It doesn't matter.
Hallelujah. Yeah, I do not care. It
Yeah.
could be Simon Spurrier writing it and John
you
Romita
would still
Jr.
cry.
drawing it, and I would, frankly, probably not buy it.
So
But-
many people I saw, they're like, who the hell would care? They announced a book with no creative team. And I'm like, you people don't understand how this works. The title is like 90% of it. The creative team is just like, yeah, whatever. Sure, someone. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah. In contrast, you have X-Men Gold, which is kind of the Uncanny X-Men, but it's X-Men Gold. Go fuck it. And by the way, it was actually really good. But
Yeah, they've been good books. It's just not Uncanny
fix the fucking title. Why do you need to be another X-Men color title, which is so random and weird that they're doing this, but whatever.
They announced Black's going to be 5 one-shots, not like an ongoing title.
You know what?
So.
I would like to think that, and you can probably actually answer, that if they sell well, they will have a 6th or 7th or 8th one-shot, depending on the success of the 5 one-shots.
I mean, I don't know anything
Like,
past
I want
the fact
X-Men Black Arcade. I want X-Men Black Vulcan, where he, comes back from the dead. Spoiler for Vulcan.
No.
What?
Yeah.
That Brubaker one was good.
He may or may not actually be dead.
Who knows?
I'm sure it came up in a New Warriors or Squirrel Girl book. He was resurrected in Squirrel Girl. You bet I didn't. God damn, you're loving Squirrel Girl. Anyway, no, I'm just saying that like a bunch of X-Men one-shots of their villains sounds fucking amazing. Is it true that Marvel was sort of holding some cards closer to the chest because of New York? Or is that not true?
I mean, they could, yeah. So New York is...
If you had to guess.
October?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have solicitation for everything by then. So October, they're looking at stuff coming out like February, March at that point. So next year, they could announce like next year stuff. We'll have that stuff way sooner than.
Dude, as a retailer, how stoked are you that Uncanny X-Men is coming back?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they do a good job. Marvel's recent relaunches have been very positive. Our sales are way up on a lot of these titles. Case in point, like Amazing Spider-Man. I do not have a lot of high hopes. I do not have high hopes for this new series.
Oh, really? That's someone like you.
Well, after the Dan Slott run and Nick Spencer's not kind of everyone's favorite creator these days after his Captain America stuff and Secret Empire, I thought maybe this Spider-Man series would just kind of people wouldn't care, but no, people love that Spider-Man. I think Ryan Otley has a lot to do with that. The artist coming off Robert Kirkman's Invincible, he was a longtime artist on that. The entire run of that. So I think there was a little love for that book, so I think people picked it up because of that. And a character like Spider-Man is Spencer's kind of bread and butter. I think it's a good fit. So I'm very hopeful for a relaunch of Uncanny. The X-Men books sell fine, right, but far from the chart-topping books they have been in the past. So I would think Marvel would want to throw some of their big creator. Throw Donny Cates on Uncanny X-Men. Why not?
Oh, my God.
He's doing 12 other books. It doesn't matter. Apparently, the guy can just write
at
everything.
Least half chub, even that you said that right now.
Yeah,
Little Billy?
Big Willie.
So while so there are two other things to talk about Comic-Con, and before we move on to questions, I'd rather wrap up something nicer. Nothing specific to do with Comic-Con, although it affected it pretty dramatically. I'll talk about this James Gunn thing for a minute. We just talked about it in the Geekbox last night for a while.
Do we really have
lots to say about this. How much do you guys know about this?
I know literally just that he's gone.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay. Anyone else? Kevin, were you reading up on this while you're down there?
The only thing that I heard was this was the journalist is one of the guys.
Journalist,
quote unquote.
That's a word.
His goal is to just basically get people in the industry fired.
Correct.
So, which is
Whoa.
I don't know. It's just. I mean, it's interesting that the context that everything was taken out and put together and then blasted back out to...
Yeah. So for Bryce...
Let me make one point here.
Yeah, of course.
Disney was aware of all of this pre-Guardians 1.
Yep.
This is my big problem here.
Yeah. So real quick for people to know and for Bryce and give a little more backstory. James Gunn, he directed Guardians 1 and 2 and is going to be obviously pretty instrumental in the kind of cosmic Marvel stuff going forward.
And did a great job with 1 and a good job with 2.
I mean, look, 2 wasn't my thing, but whatever. I'm not going to...
It was a good theater, though.
Oh, people... Secret Wars and loved it. But I don't want to see this guy fired over it or anything like that. It just wasn't the direction I wanted, but that...
I mean, he stomached that Baby Groot dancing opening sequence.
So...
You're a brave man, Higgins.
James Gunn. Sorry, my brain just
Whenever you bring that up, he goes, "Fuck!" He gets stuck.
Along with a number of other comedians, and James Gunn likened himself something to a comedian. I mean, he worked for Trauma. He did a bunch of schlock horror stuff. He's done a lot of very crass, very crude material prior to working with Disney, right? And this is not uncommon, right? You can look at every what's his face from Full House?
God, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, right? Bob Saget's like
you watch him in Entourage.
Oh my God, his stand-up is fucking raunchy as hell, right? But he's on this very family-friendly show back in the 80s. And this is just what happens, right? These comedians go through this, or these actors, they have all sorts of different careers, right? So James Gunn, very outspoken liberal, very anti-Trump. He was targeted by Mike Chernovich and a bunch of alt-right trolls on the internet.
The Gamergate.
Just alt-right people in general. Alt-right, lots of, bot accounts and fake accounts. And within about, like literally a 24-hour period, a bunch of old jokes he had made on Twitter, at this point close to a decade ago, were brought up and sent to Disney and said, you have a pedophile working on your movies, you need to fire him immediately. Because he made some jokes about pedophilia, right?
Remember, this is also back when we only had 120 characters.
140. But yes. So a big point of the alt-right's hatred of Hollywood is they obviously falsely, but one of their kind of beliefs that they push on people, that this narrative they push, is that there is a large group of pedophiles working in Hollywood. Now, it's not to say that there isn't. There probably is at
more
least
than zero.
Right, exactly. I'm sure there is. That's just odds are. I'm sure it happens. But they've taken a lot of out of context tweets, old jokes, and skits, things that these people have done that now work for bigger, more family-friendly companies. I know Dan Harmon quit Twitter over this. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Over basically similar things that were sent to Adult Swim. James Gunn, obviously, I'm bearing the lead here. James Gunn was fired from Disney off the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Sorry, so let me actually get to what happened here. I know they're going after Patton Oswalt. They're going after what's her name?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman, thank you. These are all comedians and people in Hollywood.
They're comedians. Comedians are on purpose.
No, and the thing is
not appropriate.
What is the thing? Hold on. What is
the James Gunn tweets that are in reference to that were sent to Disney? He was actually apologized for those years ago.
Right. So long time ago. Back in, I think it was 2012, so we're talking 6 years ago, right? Before he was hired on for Guardians, he came out with this message and said, hey, I did this, or probably at the time he was hired for Guardians. He's like, look, I made these movies, I used to want to shock people, I made these terrible jokes. Obviously, they're jokes, they're in bad taste, I understand, I apologize for them, I'm a different person now, I've grown, I've changed, and by all accounts, this is true. Now, if James Gunn tweeted a pedophilia joke today, Disney should fire him, no question asked, totally understandable, right? I mean, I may not personally think he should be fired over just a joke,
but you get it.
But I totally understand, right? Now, the fact that we've had all this time has passed, he's never reoffended, if you will, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that they fire him now after being, like Kevin said, just very aware of his past, of his history, of where he comes from.
They knew about these tweets and these jokes before James Gunn filmed a day of Guardians 1.
Right.
So whatever you think of these jokes, the royal you, not you, Ryan.
Right.
Whatever you think of what he wrote, just be aware that his employer who fired him last week for these jokes was aware of these jokes in, what was that, 2010?
Or 2012 is when he made the apology.
Before he filmed anything on Guardians. They knew about it.
Right. So let's, number one, not call Ryan the Royal anything. Because things are getting to his head at this point, being a big influence on the DC universe.
So Chernovich is one of the guys behind Pizzagate. If you guys know anything about Pizzagate, again, this belief that Hillary Clinton was running a secret child molestation and like sales
joint in Michigan.
No, in DC. In DC, yeah. I mean, to me, these guys have some just crazy obsession with pedophilia, maybe a little bit of projection. I don't know, but all I'm saying is that there's.
This guy wasn't he convicted or he was charged with, but nothing went through of date rape?
Yes. So this guy has absolutely
and he's on
no
record
ground
saying like his investigator had the girl change her story.
Paid off. They think maybe she was paid off or something. Right. So look,
fuck that douchebag.
No, look. So I actually really believe that Disney will hire James Gunn back because for two reasons. One, now there is one chance that they don't rehire him, and that's just legitimately someone at Disney hates him, and this was their way out. That's always a possibility. Mm-hmm. Someone's like, I just don't like this guy, or it's not what we want. This is our chance to get out and not have it really blow back on us. I don't think that's the case. I think Disney got fucking played. So the actors have all come out in defense of James Gunn. Mm-hmm. Chris Pratt himself could just be like, nope. I'm not doing shit until he's back. And at that point, they don't have a choice. They hire him back. They're not going to get rid of Chris Pratt. He's the biggest person. He's like the biggest star they have at this point. I mean, with the other guys that are all on their way out, Chris Pratt can fucking rule the MCU for the next 10 years. They're not going to get rid of him. I pretty firmly believe Disney's going to hire him back. They're going to let this blow over for a couple weeks, but I think they're going to have him back. And guys like Dan Harmon, I'm not a big Dan Harmon fan, but anything he did as far as being a comedian, that's not an action that he did. Whereas exactly whether it's rape or abuse, physical actions that this guy committed, right? So
I mean, you're talking basically projection. I mean, it's the pot calling the kettle fucking black.
So much of this, there's a little too much obsession with pedophilia from these guys for me to be I kind of get the feeling
it's like watching
that
Alex Jones Light.
I get not even Light. I get the feeling that there's something, but there's way more to these guys than we know. But it is disturbing to me that just such an obvious troll attack can get someone in the entertainment industry fired in like 24 hours or less than 24 hours.
These are people that are like, well, why was Roseanne fired?
Yeah, because she said something now. That's the difference, right? Again, if James Gunn made a joke today, boom, totally understandable, right?
Well, I know Peyton Oswald basically went and...
Also Patton Oswald?
Patton Oswald, sorry.
A.K.A.
Peyton Manning, sorry. That's
whatever.
Sorry.
Patton.
He went back... He was
talking to Peyton.
General Peyton.
He went back to the tweets
General
that
Peyton.
they were... he went back and said, these are my tweets.
Yeah.
And these are the jokes that I was making. If you yank this out, yes, it will be out of context.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, Patton Oswalt did an amazing series of out-of-context tweets. You have to go look these up. They're so funny. The first tweet does not end the sentence. It picks up in the second tweet, and it sounds horrible if you just read the second tweet.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that it's so out of context when you... The second tweet is really bad when you don't read the first tweet along with it.
This is when we need more than 140 characters.
Yeah, so I have to believe they'll have James Gunn back. I just don't feel like Disney's going to let them play Disney like that. Now, whatever the companies are not political, right? The people within the companies are, and whatever politics the people that run Disney have. On your creative end, you're often going to have much more liberal-leaning people, and a lot of people that work for Disney are very liberal and very outspoken. This is a terrible, terrible precedent set here that I think they're going to pull back on. I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, if you also look at all the stuff that's going on with Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, now is going on,
right?
And nothing.
Disney doesn't say a word.
They're not saying anything.
Right,
so
right.
It's again.
What is happening there?
Johnny Depp's had interesting career of, and career is not the right word. Interesting history of abuse and alleged abuse and emotional abuse and maybe some physical abuse and problems with his wife. And are they divorced or are they going through divorce?
I think they're going through divorce or they're divorced, but there was a huge thing going on with Comic-Con where
a lot of people
showed up at something that she was.
Yeah.
Because his wife was Mara.
Yeah, I think they're divorced.
Yeah,
I think they're divorced now.
But the woman playing Aquaman and Mara is his ex-wife.
Yeah,
and he showed up at that panel.
Yeah, so it's just I have to assume they'll rehire him, but again, we don't know. So let's move on. Last two topics before we have a couple questions, huh?
To brighter topics.
Brighter topics.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
This comes from.
We didn't even talk Aquaman.
Well, I still have two whole topics to talk about here. Our last two topics. The Aquaman and Shazam trailer. Woo! Shit!
Which one do you want to start with?
We'll start with Shazam. That was the first one they did, so that was fine. Oh, God, Shazam looks so good. It looks so funny.
It looks like that series that Johns did with the backups of
he looks
Justice
perfect.
League.
He looks perfect. Yeah. This is not 1950s Holy Moly. This is also not fuck Batman. This falls somewhere in between, right? Which I think is it's
good.
I don't think you can have.
I'm hoping this is kind of like DC's Ant-Man.
I don't. Maybe I don't.
Don't ask Higgins to compare it to a Marvel movie, Brock.
I don't think you can do. I don't think you can do a Shazam movie and have Billy Batson be like this, jolly Willikers type character. That just doesn't work today.
It's going to be, and they mentioned it. It's going to be a superhero version of Big,
right? Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that Billy Batson's still. I don't want to say edgy. That's not the way I mean it. He's a
modernized.
He's a normal kid.
He's a little kid from the streets.
Yeah, from today.
A little white kid from the streets, which is very different
he's from
than
those
actually
hard
being from the streets.
PG-13 streets.
The hard PG-13 streets. Oh, Billy Batson.
Straight out
Kevin,
of the Flash TV show.
Of anyone, if they're going to have an opinion on Shazam, it's going to be you.
This would be a top 5 DC character for me.
Yeah.
To quote Lane,
In his esteemed review.
I didn't love this looks faithful to that Johns run, which I didn't love. I don't want G. Willikers, Holy Moly, Leave It to Beaver.
Yep.
I just want it tilted maybe a little more in the, to use an example, a Pixar direction of tone. For instance, let me just generalize. I would like to see a Shazam movie where there is no scene at night. And this looks very, very dark, both literally on screen and subject matter. It just looks too far on that end of the spectrum for my taste for this particular character. This is the point I was making with Titans. For this character.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And I guess have we now, Ryan, you can educate me on this. Is in the comics now, is not Captain Marvel anymore. Shazam.
Shazam permanently.
Okay, yeah. Shazam and Billy it's Billy's brain in the Shazam body. Is this the idea? It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we had this discussion in the hotel room, Lane. Originally, they're two separate people that trade places in reality when one's gone. And I wasn't sure. Seems from the
Thor-ish.
Yeah, it was. There was a Golden Age story where they got Christmas presents for each other and left them.
Oh, nice.
So when the other one transformed back, there'd be a gift waiting for him.
That's awesome. The Golden Age was the Golden Age.
No, I think even really? I think when I can't. I never read enough of the first DC stuff, but at least from the post-crisis Shazam, that's been the story.
Like the Ordway, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think.
At
least the JSA and up, it is. I don't remember the Ordway run. If I have to assume it was like he got into his body. Like it wasn't like they switched places.
Right, yeah. So I'm just saying that's now locked in.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what... Okay, so it's big. It's basically... I think the trailer reminds me a little too much of the Mark Millar Superior, and this is the second time tonight I've quoted Millar. I know you didn't read Superior.
Yeah.
Two strikes.
It's Mark Millar's Shazam.
Right.
Two strikes.
This trailer looks like a trailer for an adaptation of Superior, not the Shazam I know from comics.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Is it really have to be pronounced Millar? Is it not just Miller?
No, it's Miller. Yeah, it's Miller.
But we all say Millar because he
No,
spells it
I
so
say Miller.
crazily.
I
just-
live on Millar.
It's just, I don't know.
It's pronounced Miller.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
Miller.
That's all
Because
right.
I do the same thing. I pronounce it Millar because
Yeah.
of the crazy spelling.
I live on that street.
You already said that.
Jesus.
Nobody cares.
Aquaman trailer.
Oh, Shazam. I mean, God. Yeah.
I have not seen the trailer
Yeah.
because I plan on seeing the movie
Yeah, you're not a trailer guy.
because you mentioned top 5 DC superhero for you. For me, Shazam is probably a top 3 DC superhero.
What?
Yeah, I fucking love
Whoa.
Shazam. Shazam Hero Click came out. Had to get it as soon as possible. When it came out, it was like it was the Kingdom Come Shazam. He had no range on the piece, so he was vastly inferior to the Kingdom Come Superman, as Scott knows. But he was just so damn cool that I had to get him. And yeah, I watched. There's some Shazam cartoons when I was a little bambino Brycey.
Did you read the John stuff?
No, I haven't read any Shazam in a long time. I want to say that
A top 3 hero for you?
Do you mean the John's Justice Society stuff? No, wait, I'm getting that wrong.
No, it's the backup stuff he was doing in Justice League. during
The answer is I have read a bunch, and not recently that I can tell you. Reading it, like staying up to date, current reading is different than loving the character. So go fuck yourselves. But yeah, no, I will be seeing this movie and love the character.
Hell
and
yeah.
will not watch the
He'll be holding
trailer.
his hero clip the
Okay.
whole time.
Okay.
So in Bryce terms, DC Universe, Batman is 87-88%, Shazam 5, and then everybody else the rest of it.
No, in Bryce terms, Batman is fucking 80-85%. Shazam is not 0.1% for all my UK fans. Much love. And yeah, I don't know. Harley Quinn is 1%, Superman is 3%, and the rest can go fuck themselves.
I may have been sitting alone in a theater for this version, maybe with Bryce and Ryan. I would have loved to see Mad Scientist Savannah, Mr. Mind, and fully steer right into the absurdity of like the cartoonish.
Oh, I was talking about this on the Geek Box. I would kill for Mr. Mind in this thing. It'd be so good.
I can't say what I dislike about the Savannah interpretation without spoiling something for Bryce.
We don't see him.
I was going to say, do we
He's
know?
in there.
Do we know who the? Wow!
we see him for a second. Like,
do we know who the villains are from the trailer?
Savannah, as far as I
Don't
know.
say it. Just tell me yes or no.
Well, it's following the Johns run.
Yeah.
So
Mark Strong.
I don't know.
No longer
Sinestro.
Or no longer Sinestro, I mean.
Love Mark Strong.
yeah, right. But
Okay.
it's not little like
No.
evil mad scientist Savannah.
Yeah,
it's something different.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yep.
So is this connected to the DCEU? Or
You mean?
does it even- does
yes,
it
it
even
is
matter?
connected to the Worlds of DC. That is the official name of it now. All the movies and I guess TV and everything now too is called Worlds of DC.
Multiverse.
It's the multiverse.
Why don't
yes.
they just fucking call it the multiverse? That is way cooler.
It's called Worlds of DC.
That is a fucking lame name. But okay.
WODC.
Let me give my most audible eye roll that can be transported
Bryce.
across the podcast.
But it could be WOD.
I usually tell Ryan not to be so salty.
No,
Bryce,
it's not as good as Lance.
don't be so salty.
Bryce, just think of it WOD. Warlords of Draenor. You're fine.
But there's already a WOD, as you
Yeah.
and I very well know, Higgins.
Yeah. Aquaman trailer.
Yeah, it's a workout of the day.
Aquaman trailer came out. And, you know, I don't know what else to say about the Aquaman trailer. It's fucking incredible. I'm so excited. Like, they're going to go for a modern interpretation on these characters. And I think Aquaman, now I know there was additional footage shown at Comic-Con where he is in a more, as traditional as you can make it look, costume, which we didn't see. So if you're not into, Jason Momoa looking like he looked in season 2, 3, and 4 of Stargate Atlantis, which is what he looks like in this movie.
Wait, was he in Stargate Atlantis?
He was. Yep.
Who watches these shows?
Me and Lane and many other people watch Stargate.
Ironically, Jason Momoa in the orange and green variation it looks worse. Like because
the hair and
it doesn't fit. Like that costume doesn't fit.
So I saw the
Jason
action
Momoa.
figure.
Yeah.
Right, I saw the action figure, and like it is like the beard and the hair. Like it doesn't. I actually prefer the
just go with the tattooed other interpretation at that point.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm actually okay with him kind of getting into like the royal clothes if that's what he does in the movie. But Mary looks fucking incredible. This sort of has like, and I mean, normally I would say this as an insult, but it kind of has like that Avatar feel where it's like this crazy
Finding
big CG
Nemo.
world, right?
Well, I mean, I really enjoyed that it's going. We're going into Atlantis. We're seeing it, so it has these broad strokes of seeing kind of this underwater world. But I mean, for me, I think that the difficult part that I had going, like the trailer looks amazing. I'm so excited for this movie. My only hesitance is it looks like 3 stories crammed into one fucking movie, and whenever they try to do that, they always fuck it up.
Well,
because you have the stuff with Black Manta shows up. You have the stuff with the
Ocean Master. You've got Orm, the king. You've got
Ocean
Mira.
Master, or not necessarily the Mira. It's the Scourge, or what is the
Trench.
The trench people. It's like there's a ton of stuff going on.
Really good hero clip.
but we don't know.
Really?
I mean, we just don't know. We don't know what the story is.
We don't know what the story is.
All we know is
again, it's
all we know is
when I
Aquaman
start
goes
seeing-
back.
When I start seeing more than kind of one main story, I'm like,
Aquaman goes back to take back the throne from Ocean Master. I mean, that's the only
it's
story.
Throne of Atlantis.
We
That's
really
Is it
don't
Ocean?
know.
Is it King Orm's Ocean Master, or is
It's
it?
Throne of Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's Throne
Yeah.
of Atlantis. That's the story.
So I don't know to what degree Black Manta is going to play in the movie. I mean, I assume he's going to be working with Ocean Master. That's all I can. But talking about leaning into the comics, it looks like fucking Ocean Master. Black Manta looks amazing. Yeah. It looks exactly like Black Manta. Mera looks so good.
They're floating in the hair and stuff, but it doesn't look like they're.
No,
it looks done really well.
No air balloon for them to.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
They just gave up. We're just going to
it's
talk.
Terrible
underwater.
idea. Just talk.
We're talking
Idea.
underwater.
I
forget
think
it.
a really good interpretation of what they did was that the crowd that was cheering when
That's cool.
that
Yeah.
wave hits them. Like you
force.
can feel like
Yeah.
they're actually getting moved by the water, and then it subsides, and then they can move again.
Yeah. No, I think it looks great. Now, I mean, it does run the risk of being like way overly CG and just not coming off, not looking good. Right? I mean, DC's not. They have had some issues with the CG in their movies, in the past. So I don't know to what the kind of the budget on this thing is going to be. But hopefully it feels right. It looks right. The characters look great. The action, the bits we saw in the trailer look good. Trailers can lie, but I'm pretty confident from this. Like I didn't walk away. I walked away from Batman v Superman, and I was like, "That looks amazing," and everyone else said, "That looks like stupid." Most people I've talked to have been really high on the Aquaman trailer. So Leanne, I think, is the only person I've talked to that doesn't like it, and randos in the Facebook group that are assholes. But hey, Facebook group,
and your wife. He gave his wife the wave.
No, this is proof that me and Leanne are not the same person. Toby always thinks me and Leanne are the same person. I'm like, she doesn't like anything that I like. We like totally different
Except for
things.
Twin Peaks.
Every now and again, right? Exactly, some stuff.
This is the last time I'll say this comment.
No, it's
this
not.
is it.
Hashtag not my Aquaman.
No, well, it's not, but I understand it's just a different interpretation. But this is other than that.
Waspy Aquaman.
The last time I'm going to say this, just think of how incredible it would have been to see Jason Momoa as Namor.
Yeah.
Like it's almost so
Much
obvious.
better
It's just
Namor.
such a huge target that they somehow missed, and he landed as. They've Namorized Aquaman.
Right? Yeah.
Well, no. What happened is that they gave the casting agent a picture of Namor,
By
but said
mistake.
Aquaman on
Yeah.
the thing, and so they cast Jason
That's all the
Momoa.
same.
And then after they were done, they were like, "Oh shit! It was the wrong."
That would have Jason Momoa in that role would have been like Christopher Reeve, Downey Jr. level, perfect casting.
Especially from that series of his that was in the 80s, 90s.
Well, I
when he
think,
started having the longer hair.
but even if you look at the Peter David longer hair, hook hand Aquaman, that I think they're
It fits.
It
for
fits.
that one.
It doesn't have blonde hair. That's the kind of I know some people's kind of complain, but whatever. Hair color is meaningless to most things. Don't change Mary's hair. But
Just don't change that.
yeah. But they, I think he looked great.
Can't change Storm's hair either.
I'm super excited.
I'm trying to include. Okay, I'm trying to be inclusive.
I appreciate it.
I would love. I hope Bryce. I hope you see these movies and really enjoy them. I know you'll see them. I hope you really enjoy them.
I will definitely see Shazam and Aquaman. I'm not against seeing. Zack Snyder's not directing
you
them.
should see
I'm going
Aquaman.
to wait until A, time permits, B, babysitter permits, and C, ratings permit. I will not see a shit movie just because it's Aquaman. I agree with the whole Namor thing. He'd be better cast as Namor. I'm not against Aquaman. I fucking love Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I just, especially when he's not in a Zack Snyder movie, so bring it on. Just, make it good or I just won't see it. I'm going to see Ant-Man and Wasp before it's out on video.
I probably won't. I mean, that's Comic-Con. I
play
mean,
hooky from
obviously
work
there's a
one day.
million other things to talk about, but I'll
We
read
need
a
to do
handful
some
of
questions.
Yeah, let me get through a bunch of questions here. We can
Are these from
Quick
the
get these.
quote a-holes in your face?
No.
Or the a-holes who follow you on Twitter?
They need
Just some of those.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I banned all those people.
We need to
so.
we need to give those people an internet badge so they can wear it, so we know who the
No,
a-holes
most
are
people in the Facebook group like Aquaman. So
I like the a-holes are the ones that don't agree with Ryan 100%.
Yes,
of the
of
time.
course.
The funniest part is that the Facebook group is now full of Higgins sycophants.
Oh, no way.
All the non-Higgins
No
sycophants
way.
are not. All the non-Higgins sycophants have just fucking left the group.
No, they
Everybody
haven't.
remaining in the Facebook group is just like, yeah, Higgins is a fucking batshit crazy dude. Like,
You ignore
I'm just okay with it.
90% of the posts then, because that is
He
far
said
from the truth.
check it
most
every
of the
day.
people in there think you're just crazy and are
Yeah.
okay with it.
Yes, that's exactly what I just said. Hashtag listen. Hashtag Batman is California.
Oh, the people that really hate me have already left?
Yeah, they're on Twitter.
No, the people
No
that just,
tall foxes. Now I get it, by the
No
way.
tall foxes
The people that just can't be bothered with you.
have all left.
Everybody is either likes you or is just like me, where they're just like, this fucking guy. Like, nobody actually doesn't like you because they've all left.
Yep.
Well, don't we have a survey when you come in?
I have a question.
What's up?
This question is from
So I was trying to get to earlier.
podcast regular Lane, Lane. It's not you. It's Jim.
Lane,
Jokish.
I'm here, bro.
He's right there.
Lane's right there, and this question would be directed towards you and Kevin. Jim wants to know how this year's sketchbooks were.
There were very few this year.
I was waiting for meh.
You let us down, Lane.
Actually, that answer works in this case, right?
Eh.
Yeah. No, there were a lot of artists didn't have a 2018 sketchbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only like I don't know, like 4, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rockefort had that little tiny one, right?
He wasn't there.
Oh, he wasn't there? Oh, okay.
Other than that, you are totally right.
Yeah.
This is from Robert.
He's on a street corner with his kid making lemonade.
This is from Robert. He says, "What's the
Starfire there?
He says, "What's the deal? What's the deal with midnight releases from comic book stores? I hear shops talk about how they can sell special books at midnight, but not any other releases on until Wednesday. Isn't the whole point is after midnight it is Wednesday? Shouldn't you be able to sell any book after midnight? All right, so here's how this works.
Oh, God. This is one of the most boring topics in retail.
No,
Go
but
for it.
but it makes
Who's
sense.
this from?
This is from Robert.
Robert.
So, look, one of our customers, he to midnight releases, right? They're for a particular book. So sometimes Marvel does it, sometimes DC, occasionally Image. Normally, they do allow any of their books to be on sale as well.
So the publisher
so
allows
when
it.
Marvel does like the Fantastic Four midnight
Midnight,
release, which I gave the wrong date for last week, it is not next Wednesday. It is the week after that. It is the 7th,
The 7th.
of August. We are allowed to sell any Marvel comic, assuming they allow it. Now, in the case of Batman 50, when that came out, they also put Captain America #1 at midnight. Diamond actually said you could sell every book you want at midnight. I do not. I only sell the one book because I try to make it a special event for that book. And it's a good reason to come back the next day, pick up your comics on Wednesday, and not split the shipments. Because if you can't pick up DC or Image, but you pick up your Marvel, like it's just a whole screwy thing. People come early for other books. No. Fuck that noise. You're there for the one book. You're there for Batman 50 or you're there for FF1 or whatever.
You're there for the experience of that
specific book. That's what you're there for. Now,
it's nerds getting comic books at midnight. That's what it's all about.
Issue 8 of some garbage miniseries from DC or Marvel.
The reason I can't sell every book at midnight is because that's not how Diamond's terms of sales work. Comic book stores are only allowed to sell their comic books within a 1 hour earlier than the average time of their closest competitors. So if every store around here opens at 10 o'clock, you can open at 9 o'clock. That's as early as you're allowed to sell your comic books, right? So you can't sell your comic books at 12:01 unless every other store opens at 1 a.m.
That's rude.
That's the way Diamonds, because they don't want one store getting an advantage over the other store. Street dates for books and magazines, they will allow these things, right? I mean, back in the day, video games, right? Yeah, sure. But that's just, it's a little bit different when you're dealing with like Walmarts and Targets that have all kind of 24 hours of weird times. But yeah, that's how the comic industry works. Now,
or you're on a time zone, you can just drive from one to the other.
Yeah, I can't say that might not change as in the future.
But that is a true nerd activity, isn't it? Going to the store at midnight for one comic and then going back later that same day to get the rest of your shipment because you have to read one.
This is the disgusting part.
You're there for the
This is the disgusting part. It used to be midnight movies, right?
Yeah.
You go to the movie
now it's like
midnight.
6 p.m.
Now it's like 6 p.m. I'm afraid it's going to be,
Wednesday.
Detective 1000, get it Tuesday at fucking noon. I'm like, how the fuck are we supposed to process it? Shit.
Julian Titus, for the Nerds of Love Pants podcast, asks,
no, he needs to put some fucking pants on.
Thoughts on the recent Darkhawk limited series and odds that I'm getting another ongoing or another miniseries. I really enjoyed it and like the added lore to his origins.
I'm going to give you 3 letters. JST. Just straight trash.
Darkhawk has been written over the last couple of years along with the upcoming Sleepwalker comic.
There's an upcoming Sleepwalker comic
by Chris Sims.
Is Penance next?
If Mark Miller is my arch nemesis, Chris Sims is his sidekick. Okay, I've never met the guy. I don't know the guy from anything other than the internet. I don't like him. I don't like his comics.
He needs to call you and get some ideas.
He likes exactly the same things I like.
But he likes to
He's like the evil version or the good version of me. He's like the evil version of me.
Definitely the good version of you.
So
he writes for Marvel.
I guarantee I would put money on him launching a New Warriors comic sometime in the next couple of years because he's fucking tackled Darkhawk and now fucking Sleepwalker. And that motherfucker's going to start writing New Warriors any day now. And I'm going to be so goddamn mad because I have to buy them. All of them. Every variant cover.
Okay, so serious question. When he does this abomination
and I will be so mad.
Will he write the new Warriors or the OG New Warriors?
Oh, it'll be the OG New Warriors just to really get under my skin.
No, it'll be the all new, all different OG New Warriors.
No, that's not the point.
No, the point is
he won't. The point is
right.
that
it'll be the old team.
If it's the Jubilee New Warriors, they can all fucking fall off a cliff for all I care. Like, fuck those characters.
Or go stand in the sun. Hashtag vampire.
Yes. But
jeez.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. But
I'll show myself out.
I tried, Scott. I tried to read that Infinity. I couldn't. It was
the Infinity was it was rough.
Julian.
I went into it, read, because I was getting all the Infinity stuff.
I'm like gritting my teeth reading it, and I'm like, I can't even do this.
Bryce, have you been reading Infinity? Main title.
I have been keeping up on comics as best that I can.
You're a dad, got a lot of things to do.
So the answer is no.
Infinity, I've been keeping up pretty much, and it's been solid if you pay attention to the main title. When you start going outside the main title,
don't do your hands like that. It looks like a shake weight.
It is. Thanks. I'm glad you're always thinking about that.
In spite of Brock and Higgins' reactions to shake weights, Thor 3 was incredibly successful, amazingly well written, acted, and made more money than any DC movie. So go fuck yourselves.
But once I skewed into that Darkhawk. I flipped it open, read the first 3 pages, and wow. Terrible. JST.
What is Marvel doing to like your
JST.
Darkhawk, your New Warriors, your Nova? It's like they
hate me.
They hate
That's
you.
I mean, I have a lot of pull with Marvel. They're like, oh, what does Ryan want? Okay, we'll fucking kill those characters.
Chris Sims is actually just a fucking 17-year-old intern. They're like, this fucking guy Higgins.
listen to this podcast and make him pissed off.
Here's a list, little fucker. This is what he loves.
Burn it all down.
I want you to burn it to the ground.
John Hoffman says, I've been out of the comics game for about 6 months. Looking to jump back in, but only casually due to monetary reason. Just jump back in. I mean, 6 months. You didn't miss anything. If I can only read 3 current series by
12
Marvel...
fucking issues of Batman.
If I can only read 6 books, 3 by Marvel and 3 by DC, what should I be picking up? Throw in an independent pick as well. So what should be...
7 books total?
I mean, just catch back up on... like random books.
Okay, so for Marvel...
What did you miss in the last 6 months?
It's definitely anything by Donny Cates and...
Death of Inhumans, Venom, and...
Yeah.
What else are you running right now? Cosmic Ghost Rider?
No. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, wait. The Ghost Rider Danny Ketch, that's Superior.
No. Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Right. I'm saying Superior is doing Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, and he can go fucking die.
What?
What? Isn't that right?
I mean, there's Cosmic Ghost Rider right now.
There's no regular Ghost Rider.
What is Superior?
Yeah.
What was there's something on the Facebook group. What is Superior has a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider? Just
Like
came out.
5 years ago or something.
No. That's,
That was from 5 years ago.
is that real?
Yeah, he picked it out of a bin
Yeah,
to show you.
I saw that post. Yeah, no, that's an old.
That's old.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's going to ship it to you. I gave him your address.
it looks like I fucking hope you did not.
the new one. And
Don't. Anyway, so okay, so
Saskatchewan.
anything by Danny Coates, aka Danny Cates, aka Danny Ketch, and Jason Aaron, Avengers,
Avengers is really good.
and
Getting on this Marvel.
Catch up-
Uncanny X-Men.
What, in November?
I'm going to say Marvel 2-in-1.
Oh, 2 in 1's
Oh, that has also been good. That's
Yep.
a great shout. That's a great shout.
And from DC, read Justice League, catch up on Batman, and
Mr. Miracle?
well, sure, yeah. So you missed like 2 issues.
Well, it depends on what he likes.
Yeah, exactly.
New Justice
Yeah, he likes
League,
Batman and
Man of
Justice
Steel.
League. Yeah.
Mr. Miracle's not a casual recommend for every reader.
No,
is
they
it?
should read it.
You should.
For
it's
DC, my opinion, since that's the only one that matters, you should catch up on Batman, Detective Comics, and Batman White Knight. # Batman is California.
That's over.
Zach
What-
Fid.
we
Zach
doing
Fid.
independent?
Out of the game
Oh
for
yeah, have you
6
got an
months.
independent you want to throw on there? I've just given up. I don't even read independent
Whoa,
comics
they're
anymore.
definitely going to have more Batman White Knight, right? I mean, that's
It's just going to be a whole another series through Black Label. Yeah. They're moving it over to Black Label.
I mean, there's a handful of good.
they didn't want to do Blue
Independent
Label or Red Label. They wanted
Worst
to do Black
news to
Label.
happen around Comic-Con is Mr. Miracle's going straight to trade, soft cover, no sexy oversized hardcover. So dumb.
Whoa, I saw this whole interaction on Facebook. That's just like for now, right?
Well, of course there will be a hardcover down the road, but why would you not start with that and then put the trade out later? That's always what they do.
Isn't 99% of the time they do the hardcover and then wait 6 months and then put
Yeah,
out the soft?
right.
So what the fuck?
I don't know. They're doing it with White Knight too. It's soft cover first. I have no fucking idea. It's really weird.
What is the
That's right.
idea?
Can we all discuss how they released Metal?
All in hardcovers.
No, Metal is an
different-
oversized hardcover.
3 different formats. Well,
Yeah,
and
it's like
and-
3 fucking. It's like
Resistance
regular
is a
hardcover,
soft
and the
cover.
Resistance is hardcover. I'm like,
no,
ugh.
Resistance is soft cover.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That's like fuck.
What was the next question?
Zach Fig says, "Can you talk on the podcast about
Yes, we can.
about Dan Didio and marriage?"
The fucker hates marriage.
No, this is a I don't remember where he grabbed this from. Maybe in Comic Resources. He says Didio then pivoted the panel to talk about the spoiler and brought up Batman 50. Spoilers for Batman 50. He called on a fan, a shop owner, who said his shop was not surprised by the reveal that Batman and Catwoman were not married. Spoiler. We never want to tell the last story, Didio said, and the wedding felt like the last story. There's a lot of great Batman stories coming. Now, I went on a big rant about this on Twitter. I actually think it'd be great to have him married at the end at issue 100.
Well,
That could be the story going forward for the next 80 years. It's just a different point of view, but the same potential story
It's when we got the Convergence, Lois and Clark married
Yeah.
with Jonathan.
Yeah, it's so
it
good.
Gets pulled into the current continuity,
Yeah.
it works so well.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
works so well because of Tomasi's solid run on the book.
Yeah, yeah. I think Batman, the reason for his crusade is because of the death of his parents. So in my mind, protecting your living son and wife is just as important, if not more important, to continue his war on crime. I don't think a married Batman suddenly doesn't want to fight crime anymore. I think it makes him more motivated.
Look, we're not having this conversation again.
I know.
We put to sleep all of our listeners
but
last
that's
time we had
does
this
Didio hate marriages? I don't know. I mean, Superman's married. Huh?
Is Didio married?
I have a
think so.
question. I have another question. This comes from Zero Karma. He asked,
Where are these coming from?
those of you that play Marvel Puzzle Quest,
Okay, next question.
are you excited about the new White Queen
White Queen in Marvel
coming
Puzzle
out in Marvel
Quest.
Puzzle Quest?
Marvel Puzzle Quest, the second best game after HeroClix that has to do with comics. I'm excited, Scott. Since,
Charlie's not here, and I would assume that Charlie would say, "Yeah, I'm super excited about it."
Charlie, let me try to channel Charlie. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Meh.
No, that's the Lane response. Next shot.
Indicator asks,
Indicator.
Oh, Craig.
following up on discussions with the
You guys are
guys,
drinking buddies now.
if you had $10,000 to spend on one comic-related thing, would you get an issue, original art, or something else?
Oh, because this was a long discussion at that in San Diego.
The problem is $10,000 doesn't cover hardly any original art anymore. That's the biggest concern. Like, you're not going to get anything good for $10,000.
Craig wants an original Firestorm page, though.
Oh, you're probably fine then. Yeah, you're fine.
No. He wanted that Frank show Harley.
Yes.
But-
There's a lesson from Craig for all of us. Do not go on eBay when you're drunk.
Yes, it's good. Now, he has a follow-up question here. He says...
That has to do with all shopping, by the way.
There's a follow-up question. We can do the $10,000 question here in a second, but the follow-up is, if you get a second, can you also talk about comic binding? I don't think we've discussed that yet on the podcast.
Okay, no, look. No, he's not kidding. No, he wanted some legitimate guidance on this, and he said you guys just trolled him when he brings up the topic, and I promise...
We've talked about this so
Okay,
many
but listen,
Craig,
Ryan,
go fuck yourself.
no.
That is because we've talked about
But
this
listen,
ad nauseum.
I was trying
on like
to-
10 other podcast episodes.
Why doesn't he
Craig,
Go look at our
I tried.
YouTube channel.
Craig, I tried.
No, I will
I
absolutely
was trying
talk
to
about
tell
this.
him that there's episodes where you guys go in depth about the local places, but since he's not local, he was kind of looking
Craig.
for some tips
no,
on...
Craig, go fucking Google it, bro.
No.
Stop, Craig. I'll talk to you on Messenger about it.
Herring and Robinson is the place to
Yeah, it
go.
is the
It's
place.
It's not just because it's local. It is the comic binding place. It just happens to be local to us. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I couldn't
Yeah.
communicate.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, it's called Herring and Robinson.
I'll talk to Craig on Messenger.
Me and Brock have done a few. Bryce has done a ton. We've done episodes where
I've
we've
done
talked about it.
so much that my wife got upset with how much money I spent, and I probably kept them in business
But
for the next decade. So you're welcome.
We will absolutely
welcome.
talk about this later. Seriously, I felt like
we will not talk about this later.
No,
we haven't had anything bound in almost a decade, Craig. Go and fucking search the forums for when we did talk
Craig,
about
I
it.
tried.
Craig literally Facebook messaged
Craig,
me and
I
asked
will
me to talk
message-
about this more, and I'm telling you, Craig.
To answer his
GFY.
original question-
GFY.
To answer his original question, $10,000 to spend on a piece of
the
art.
$10,000 question.
He knows my answer. I want an original Jim Aparo early 70s Brave and the Bold
I
page.
just don't think you get that.
No, I know, but let's say I can find
yeah.
one that has Bruce Wayne and Alfred.
Sure.
Ooh, Higgins.
How much is that? Cover of Surfer #1.
So this is a John Buscema cover recreation done by him, original.
Sure. What's $15,000 for that or something?
Right now, it's on auction on HA on Heritage, and it's only $4,000 with
that's not bad.
2 weeks to go. So it'll go.
It's still $10,000. Okay.
Any X-Men early original art? If I have 10,000, I'm sure that won't get me too early. But
I don't. Really
You could get
Get him a talking page.
you might get a out of costume page, Kirby page for $10,000 these days. It's just original art is just so expensive now.
I still need to get my Harley.
I take it
first appearance. So
You get that for a lot less than $10,000.
I know,
You get a
but-
couple. You get 10 of them.
I'll get that and some Batman the Outsiders original art.
Yeah.
A couple pages, right?
I don't know. Pay a couple diamond bills.
fucking lamest dude ever. What about New Mutants 98 original art of Deadpool?
Definitely more than 10 grand.
Hey, this is not original art, but speaking of exciting Comic-Con related pickups, the IDW Burn X-Men Artifact edition.
Did you get that? Nice.
I did not splurge on the signed bookplate edition. But
that was your dilemma.
but it ridiculously cool.
Lane?
Lane doesn't like comic art.
Stealing his lines.
Well, if I had
It's
to
only
pick
one line.
If I had to pick a Grail right now, it probably wouldn't be an American comic piece of art.
That's fine.
So I don't know if it's even available because in Japan the publisher keeps the pieces, and then sometimes they destroy them at the end.
Oh, great.
So I don't know if it's even available. So
we need some people to Mission Impossible that shit for you.
Yeah. So if I had a dream Grail, it'd be the page from like Sanctuary or Akira.
Nice. That'd be awesome. I don't know specifically. I mean, there's more than original art. 10 grand doesn't quite get you the, key Golden Age issues, right, or key Silver Age issues even now. And I wouldn't necessarily want that. I mean, I think original art is kind of the best way to go because it is one of a kind. But unless you're talking about those recreation pages. I mean, I'd love some covers.
Well, HA has a signature auction that's ending August 4th through 6th, and I just showed Bryce's John Byrne X-Men page, and currently it's going for $17,000.
Yeah, right. It's fucking
It's a
nuts.
random talking page with Aurora.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. So maybe early X-Men Kirby pages would be way higher than that of just a talking page. Yeah, it's just so crazy what the stuff goes for these days.
What I was telling them, those guys down in San Diego, was my Jim Aparo page is going to be like Commissioner Gordon lighting his pipe in the office and thinking about calling Batman, and that's all I could ever afford.
Yeah. That's a cool page. Some Wolverines all over it.
It's Wolverine and Guardian, right?
Yeah. Cisco asks, do you think there's any chance Zachary Levi's character in Shazam will be called Captain Marvel? 0%. Negative 10%. He will never be called...
If they make a joke about it in the movie,
No, Captain Marvel is a Marvel trademark character. They can never call him Captain Marvel again. The
story was that Stan swooped in on that because they had let it lapse.
Yeah.
And then the original agreement in the 70s when they had that series come back with C.C. Beck was they could not use Captain Marvel on the cover. Right. It had to be Shazam on the cover, but inside the story he could be called Captain Marvel.
I don't know.
I don't know what the current deal is.
I don't know if they've legally had any change to that agreement, but DC will never call him Captain Marvel again. The character's name is now Shazam. Now, when they reprint the Golden Age stuff, they're going to call him Captain Marvel, right? Because that's the character is. But any new material, he would be called Shazam. But this does actually bring up a question that I had. He goes, I just can't figure out what they'll call the rest of the Marvel family when Freddie, Mary, and possibly others get powers. And Shazam Jr., Mary Shazam?
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
I don't know what they're going to call him, right? I just don't know.
Their stance is, I'm sure,
Schmary.
Deal with that
Schmary.
when we fucking get there.
Sure.
Well, they're all in that new Johns series.
Yeah.
The comic series.
What are they calling him in the comic series?
I don't know.
He didn't say.
Yep.
Captain Mary.
Captain Shazam.
Could they be the Batson family?
Captain.
But they're not all Batsons.
I know.
Unless they're
I know.
rewriting it that way.
Right.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they are because I'm just trying to think of what they do.
All right. This comes from Dan, fellow retailer from Southside Comics.
Daniel Ketch?
And what's that? No. And over in
With that new
sorry, I just lost my I hit a thing. He's from Pittsburgh. Sorry, and I clicked out of my my notification. Sorry, I was going to his page and I hit the wrong button.
While you're bringing it back up, I would say Daniel Ketch is the worst Ghost Rider. Worse than Robbie Reyes.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What annoys you more? Me, asking me specifically.
Yeah, it is you.
Is that the
You
answer?
annoy me the most.
FOCing a second issue before the Prime and the first issue are released, or a company vastly underprinting a comic with a major death and not giving you, the retailer, specifics other than the standard order up BS. Dan is specifically talking about the Infinity Wars Prime comic that comes out tomorrow featuring the death of I'm not going to tell you, Bryce. You can look that up yourself.
Is it already in my box, I assume?
Might be. I don't know.
It was in the email that you sent me.
Now, look.
Wait, you know what actually sent me? Not you. Hashtag the hub.
Hashtag love the hub.
Yeah. Hashtag.
Did you get the email today?
I did. Hashtag love the hub now.
Okay, there we go.
It's so much easier when they tell me what I'm fucking getting and what I'm not getting. Hashtag love the hub.
So I get the Infinity War Prime today. I opened the last couple pages and I'm like, yeah, whatever, bullshit. And I just closed the book and I'm like, okay.
Then you told me to look through it.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it here, whatever. You'll all hear about this tomorrow if you're listening to this super late at night. But if you're going to kill one character in the entire Marvel Universe that you know is not going to stick right now, why even joke about it? Why even kill that character? Because you know it's not going to stick, and I will say no more.
Kill Wolverine
I will
again?
say no more.
They're like, oh, man, those burning claws is a bad idea. We got to get rid of that one.
Him.
Marvel
truly hunted him.
Marvel,
in a year or two, we'll get the 3 Wolverines.
Marvel pushed this Infinity War thing like it was the second coming of Jesus, and it's just like that's just another random book. It's not anything major. Like we don't sell that many copies. So Brian says they print more copies of comics than are pre-ordered by comic shops. Yes, they do. If so, how many? About 5% is what I understand. And what do they do with them? They leave them at Diamond Comics, and when people call in damages, shortages, or we want to reorder the book, they send out extra copies. Now, occasionally DC or Marvel or some you could still get a Oblivion Song #1 from Robert Kirkman. It's still in stock at Diamond. They way overprinted on purpose, so it was available. I think for a while you could actually get Paper Girls #1. You might still be able to get Paper Girls #1, which came out like 3 years ago or something. But generally, Marvel and DC only do a very small overprint to cover mistakes and problems, and so comic books are they are not technically print to order because they do print more, but they are for all intents and purposes sold out usually at release. Mm-hmm. Jesus says no real question. Just wanted to say I signed up for DC. Anyone else?
Nope.
The DC universe. Anyone else going to sign up?
Toby.
I heard that you were waiting to see if you could get it for free as a retailer.
Well, actually, got another great question here. This is from Hiram. Says, what would you do if you found out
the pronounced Hiram?
But also from Hiram. That's what I said, but I second guessed myself.
I don't know why. Nobody's name is Hiram.
Hiram? That's good enough. He says, what would you do if you found out that Bryce Larsen accidentally signed up for DC Universe during Comic-Con, ended up winning the Aquaman premiere trip, and had dinner with Geoff Johns, Jason Momoa, and Grant Morrison after? Well,
did you see my reply?
Hiram. The thing that you don't realize is that me and Bryce Larsen are very, very good friends, and of course, it's a premiere for 2 people. So I would like to think that my very good friend Bryce.
By the way, for those of you that aren't live in the studio audience right now, Higgins is literally under the table, opened up my fly, and is tugging on my dick.
Would extend
right
the spare tickets.
That is happening right now.
Is it Big Willie yet?
No. Nope.
Okay, hold on. Shazam!
There you go.
So Bryce would extend this open seat to his good friend Ryan Higgins, who has done him so many favors in the past. Huh?
What I like about this question is that the questioner stacks the dinner with like your favorite DC chap. Like, why would Grant Morrison be at the Aquaman premiere except to troll Ryan?
Well, here's what would happen. Okay, so I would murder Bryce in his sleep. I would wear his skin, and I would go down to the thing and
put lotion on the basket.
Yeah, and go as Bryce. I would just be like,
you already murdered me.
I would just be like, now I know I'm here at this DC thing, but I really love the X-Men. But also, I love DC, so here I am. So, yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, even though I had a very hilarious reply on Twitter, I would probably invite Higgins, because if there's anybody that's going to enjoy that as much as me,
the question,
would be Higgins.
The follow-up question would be, how much would you make him beg?
0, that's weird. But I would probably, like, the second choice that I would have is I would say, like, if I just go solo, burn the other ticket, and then take a bunch of, like, audacious selfies with these bastards, and then send it to Leanne. Not even to Higgins. Send it to Leanne.
Wear a shirt that says DC sucks or something like that. We'll wander in. Hey guys.
No, I don't think the DC sucks. Just Zack Snyder's movies.
No, it'd be the Bryce is Right shirt.
I mean, maybe my shirt would say Marvel is better because that's just honesty, which I'm known for. But yeah, it would have something to do with just me trolling you to the ends of the earth.
All right, we're gonna.
So Bryce, did you secretly sign up for DC Universe?
Well,
when you were at Comic-Con?
The premise of the question was accidentally signed up for it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out.
I can see Bryce doing it.
It was one of those things you don't do drunk.
Super drunk at 10:15 in the morning, wandering into Hall H.
Just don't go on eBay.
Hey, it's 5 p.m. somewhere.
just wandering into the main hall and being like, DC, yeah, sign on the card.
They got some booth babes. Hey, do you want to sign up for DC Universe Unlimited, whatever it's fucking called? And I'm like, sure, this sounds really good to me.
I do like me some Unlimited.
And then they say, you're little Billy, aren't you? I say, yeah.
All right.
Damn.
We are going to wrap up this podcast. Hopefully Charlie and Toby will be on next week to regale us. And we will... I saw the post, apparently.
Okay, so listeners,
the audio's
if you
up.
care about an in-depth recounting of some Comic-Con adventures, you will have your opportunity.
Okay, we're going to post it on Patreon. In the next couple of weeks sometime. No, I'll do it tonight. And then it'll be on the YouTube probably next week before next week's episode. So check that out. Go to Patreon.com.
Wait a month, man.
Patreon.
Wait a month.
It'll be real fresh.
Patreons get it for a month. And
No, a month is forever. Like 5 days is fine.
In today's society,
a month is
fucking forever.
Yeah. If you're a Patreon backer, you can go to patreon.com/comics comic conspiracy. Just one, no S. And you can listen to that bonus episode that we're going to throw up tonight from Comic-Con.
Bunch of new shirts out of this episode. Little Billy, Big Willie.
It's a reversible shirt. The opposite side says Big Willie.
With a lightning bolt.
And then
That's not
YouTube.com/comics conspiracy with an S.
That thing coming out of Wolverine's chest.
That baguette, that was pretty great.
Yeah,
Did you see this?
Nobody gets.
Did you
Yeah,
see
I
that?
did,
That
but
was
nobody
pretty
gets that
great.
joke. He said it to the podcast listeners. Nobody gets it. We didn't talk about it.
It's not. Yeah, go check my Twitter account. Wolverine got stabbed with a baguette. It's amazing.
It's one of your weaker jokes. You have some good jokes.
I opened the comic and I'm like,
No, I get it. And I saw it and it made sense, but it's one of your weaker jokes. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You have some good ones, but that wasn't one.
YouTube.com/comics conspiracies, where you can go find all our previous episodes on YouTube if you want to watch them in video form with no video. That's all in there. But I will put the audio
That
up.
checks out.
I will put Toby's audio up from Comic-Con. We have to thank our good friend Julian Titus at the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com.
No pants.
Thank you for your question, and I'm Julian.
Toby's probably not wearing pants right now.
I love
He's
Dark
probably
Hawk.
Just crashed.
Julian, I love Dark Hawk.
Toby's working all night.
Go read the old
no.
series. Don't give Chris Sims any
He
money.
probably has no pants.
Ryan Hess has Blowhards. Blowhards.libsyn.com. That is a podcast about video games. You can check that out. Canon, The Triad Comics Anthologist by Jody Lawson at triadcomicstudio.com. Our good friend Sam Che, Craig Anderson, Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez, Darfox 8 over at the Manga Machinations podcast, and Larry Davis at the Stand to Deliver podcast, a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast. So go check those guys out. Thank you guys for your continued backing at patreon.com/comic conspiracy. The comicspiracypodcast.com. All their episodes are up. All this stuff. I made nice. Leanne redid the photo that she did, the picture of us. It's all on there. I don't know. Scott's making noises and faces at me. All our podcasts are up there. You can go see them. They're also on geekbox.net and iTunes. Rate and review us if you can. The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net if you want some more long-form questions. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. You missed out on I think the biggest sale Comixology had, maybe even bigger than the Black Friday sales. Crazy Comic-Con sale. It might still be.
So look,
No, it's gone. Oh my god!
You spoil all the stuff about the comics coming out and the things coming out, but you can't spoil the Comixology sale.
We don't know the sales are up until they're up.
Yeah, like they go up like Wednesday and they're down like Monday. It's like right off the podcast. Always go to digital.comicsconspiracy.biz and check out their sales. They're crazy. Conspiratobrock.com, that's Brock's blog and video
Digital fire
post.
sale.
Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast, and Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife, Leanne. That is her Etsy store. You can pick up some stuff from her there. Ryan Higgins, Ryan. That's me. I'm on Twitter. Brock is Brock Sager. Larson Bryce. Sorry, Bryce Larsen is Larson Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is Comics Con Store. Scott is CS Shea. SHEA. That's Kevin Sharp. Is that Kevin Sharp?
And let me give a quick plug to the blog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Kevin's World of Comics at Tumblr. I've gotten actually some really good feedback from people from this podcast.
Industry. Oh, cool. Nice.
Well, yeah, in the industry, but from this podcast.
Yep.
And somebody actually wrote me out of the blue, Bryce.
Yeah.
It wasn't you, but I mean,
no, it probably was me.
A couple of weeks ago, saying like I love like classic DC. I'm familiar with I've read all this, but I don't know Marvel at all. Where should I start with Marvel?
Cool.
Did you answer that obviously handsome gentleman?
Yeah.
Or lady?
It was a gentleman, I believe. But yes, my suggestions were to start with miniseries and things that didn't need a lot of homework, like contained storylines.
That's a good answer.
So my top in the batting order was Daredevil: Born Again.
Okay,
and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
They wanted more current. They didn't want Silver Age. They wanted more like bronze and forward.
Okay. All right. I'll allow it.
Check out the Geekbox Comedy Button, Manga Machinations, and Infinite Binge over on YouTube. And that is an episode.
Scott, didn't you have something for the end? Or you already took care of it?
It was the Toby announcement.
Toby. Yeah, we're good. Yep. Go check out YouTube or Patreon if you're on there. See you guys next week.